The conscious community has decided that skull and bones is negative, that it equates to skull and bones, which is a secret society that Bush is a part of, that's a part of Yale University. So if you bring skull and bones and you're a part of the conscious community, you're this bad person. So I just want you to quote unquote bad person. Conscious community dropped the ball and completely missed the ball. We get on the emotional level, we don't trash, conduct, right, and one thing about white people, if it don't work, they throw it in the trash can and history. They don't fuck around with shit that don't work. So anytime you see the skull and bones and all that kind of stuff, and they revering it enough to be a part of a secret society, they are only emulating the best of us. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. They're only emulating the best of us. They found out a long time ago that if they're going to do something, they're going to do some stuff that works. So, first of all, they completely missed the mark. First of all, the stuff that stole t-shirts and stuff that you see out here was created by a black man. A guy named, I did a lecture in Cleveland recently, and the brother in the audience, even got the brother to say the brother's name. It was created by a black man. And then the craze just snowballed, and now you can go to Walmart. You know about Walmart, right? Yeah. You go to Walmart and they sell in the bag Sony t-shirts. And let me show you one of them. Okay. Or it's in my suitcase. Right? Yeah. This is coming from Walmart. After they found the success of what the brother did, the black man created the bone crazes out here. All the skulls and stuff. After the craze came down, what happened was Walmart got into the craze, and now it's a phenomenon everybody. So is that guy getting compensated? Yeah. No, you don't have to because you can't put a patent on the skull and bones. Oh, you see what I'm saying? But the skull and bones is originally an Osiris concept. It just means the dead man. Right? Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you what the skull really means. This is break this down simple. The Africans have a connection with the ancestors. You see, have a connection with the ancestors. I should have put this on and we'll this for the enemy. That's kind of double-ended and stuff because it's a little hotter and stuff. But anyway, the Africans have a connection with the ancestors. Now, what is an ancestor after it dies? After the body decays, what is left behind? The skull. The skull and the bones is right. So what it was is they understood, they venerated the skulls and the bones in Africa and around the world. India, Indonesia, Asia, everybody. They venerated the skull, but the original concept came out of Africa. And they venerated the skull in honor of the dead, because the skull is the only thing left behind on the earth of the ancestors. You see what I'm saying? Plus the spiritual, they know that the DNA is inside the bones, inside the teeth. You see what I'm saying? That's what Jurassic Park is all about. It's all about these were ancient masters, man. This thing goes back millions of years when our people was doing this. The skull and bones people recognize that because they are cultures. You see what I'm saying? They are cultures. After the Moors left Spain.
Hey, Flowers, how you doing?
They left Europe intact with all of the mysteries.
Okay. From UK, hey, UK.
And they took those mysteries and preserved those mysteries. And a lot of those mysteries became
hey, Bella.
The property of these particular secret societies. So these secret societies are not running around having fun. They are following us. They're generating us.
Does that have, let me ask you a question on that same topic. Does that have anything to do with that celebration? Where it is a Hispanic celebration, where they come up with the skulls, the day of the dead.
Every country in the ancient world has a day of the dead. They celebrate the day of the dead with the ancestors. Just so happens Halloween was a good one because the simple fact is it's a day and where the damn two dimensions cross and you can visit your parents and your ancestors. So this was like a gateway and it used to be more visible and more access to it, which is becoming even more now. But it wasn't when we were leaving it, or into it. More into it, let me give you an example. My queen was with me, my goddess, what have you, Linda, she went to a party. I'd have been in the 90s. Went to this party with a brother named Clyde. The party was packed. Maybe 100 people. They partied. They took a break and went outside for a minute to get some air. It was a Halloween party, masquerade party. Went outside to get some air for a few minutes and stepped back in. And wasn't no more people in there about maybe 15 to 20. Just like that. Just like that. They didn't have to see nobody leave. What had happened was they was partying with the other side on that gateway.
Dude, could you break this down? So, with this whole thing, because I know they say with certain entities and even the dead, the demons, they like killing the sweet. So it's all that tied in where they send the children for trick or treat, and they got the costumes
And all this is what we found out is this. It's sad that it's not celebrated like it used to be when I was growing up. But whenever those children come to that door and you give them candy, you give them actual spirits candy. To those children, and therefore when you give those spirits candy, they bless your prosperity for the rest of the year.
So let's say one child come with an all skeleton outfit or representing Barasami. You give that child that candy,
Right.
and it's a representation of you giving that candy to Barasami.
Let me give you an example. Last year we did an experiment on Cthulhu. That's the Necronomicon. It was created by H.P. Lovecraft, right in the 1920s.
Hey y'all.
Yeah.
Give me a time. How y'all doing? Welcome. I have to get some scholars on what I found out.
But if you find out how all that metal stuff got written on their walls, the priest was dreaming that stuff because it wasn't written down before they hung on. That's right. It had to have order. It came through the pioneer. So he wrote down all this stuff like the great old ones. So last year, me, Panic, and my queen Linda, and a few other people, but I know us three, we decided we had got a transmission that we needed to bring Cthulhu through, which is the god that sets over the whole radio ones. And he's an octopus, tentacle-headed deity, which was later on the one in the last two pilots that I have been really in part 3. Yeah. And what's the guy's name? Davy Jones was the character. The character was Davy Jones. Yes, right. With the tentacle. He was the goddess. And then they had the goddess name. So that's Calypso. So now, the mystery was, the ritual was, when we do the Halloween, we had to go out and buy an octopus. It didn't have to be real. You really had Asian supermarket. This was at that time. Yeah. No, this was last. This is Halloween 07. Okay. So we had to go buy. We paid $30 for an octopus. You see what I'm saying? A big old octopus. We put it in a bowl of water. It was already dead because we didn't want to, Right. But they set up that egg. Right. So we paid $30 for an octopus. Panic got him a big one. And we proceeded to have Halloween with the robes. The children came like, I never seen no octopus before. They were going crazy. And then all of a sudden, a young child came up to the door to get his candy with a Cthulhu mask on with all the tentacles. Get out of here. And that was the spirit world working. That was the spirit world working. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Right. That was the spirit world working too. So Cthulhu wanted some candy. And that was the whole thing, the exchange with the spirit world, your world, and they like sweets.
Now let me ask you about we started out dealing with the spirit realm. Now we talked earlier about how a lot of people in so-called conscious community is scared to make the transition from the so-called, they get stuck in this conspiracy
And the fear.
in the fear stage.
Right.
When you deal with the Illuminati and they just stay on that.
They stay on that. And what has happened is this, with a lot of the scholars, and a lot of them, you can access data. You can access data. But if you, sooner or later, your life has to become a part of the data that you can access. So, what it is with me, from the beginning, the data that I was accessing was only an experiment which was going on in my life.
You uploaded it into your reality.
Right. And so what happens with this is this. And that's not my mistake either. That's not saying, yeah, right. Everything is everything. But what happened with it is this. So, as I go through my various initiation and experience, their spiritual experience, I report what I'm dealing with spiritually through the lectures. But what it was is, then you have people that just spit out data. You see what I'm saying? Spit out data. So there's the first part of the data is the whole historical level. But sooner or later, this stuff has to be about you.
Correct.
And internalizing you. So what happens here is, after so many years of spitting out data, there's these gateways that you gotta go through to access the spirit world. Because after so much data, you go through all this particular information. There ain't nothing left for you to do at this particular time to experience it within the spirit world. But the spirit world won't let you memorize your motives.
You gotta drop everything.
You gotta drop everything. You gotta humble yourself, not to the God of the world, but only humbling yourself to your own soul.
Because you don't want with the gods, that you're on the same level as that.
Yeah, but your soul is that God, our goddess. You see what I'm saying? So, what happens here is with people, but what happens here is with most of the people who collect data, data is very tricky because you can inflate your ego. You get used to lecturing before people and all this particular information, and it can be intoxicating, just like a preacher, like anybody that's standing before a crowd. Then you're more interested, which once your ego is inflated, then you're more interested in the data to appease the crowd.
So let me ask you a question as you say that. Does that lead into openings for, let's as you say, the demiurge?
We get into that.
What, the ego?
Now, I knew he was going to say it. So what happens is you have to balance things out. So with a lot of wisdom has to come out a lot of humility, and it also has to come a lot of humility, and it also has to come when you don't get extreme. Because you can see what happens is this. Your soul, your ego, which is the self that you suppose. I'm out of human born, November 28, 1961. Me and Barack Obama born in 61. Lawrence Fishburne, Eddie Murphy, a lot of us, I think, Rick Marcellus, much of us were born in 61, which is Ain in Kabbalah, which means change.
All right, I get it.
Change. Change. Ain.
But that's what melanin is.
Yeah, right. And change is supreme. So, but anyway, I would suspect myself to be body healing. And so as a result, what I have to work against is body healing. That is the enemy. Because my soul is inside having an experience of body healing. But ultimately, I have to know my soul, which is the real me. But if I inflate body healing, you see what I'm saying? I can't never get to the spirit world, which is my soul. Right. So what happens is when it comes to certain information, it's very tricky. Then all of a sudden you become a celebrity on something and you're more interested in the performance. And as a result, you're not interested in the illumination of your own soul. So what happens is after you run out of data, it's easy to start giving people fear and scare tactics. The only thing you got to do is There's no way in the world for you to experience it because you miss the gateway or going to service. So what you do is you start experiencing the stuff through the Illuminati and the government, what they do. And that becomes a crutch. And so everybody's reporting on, because we reporting on what they're doing and reporting on the government's agenda. Meanwhile, the government's saying, hey, one thing we got to do to keep them preoccupied or get them to their shit is to even tell them on what we're going to do to them.
That's why they always say, you know what?
So I said,
The Alex Jones, David
all that,
Illuminati,
all that. I found out something back in 94. Because before that, it was, we got heard of the POS, an older group, Gary Adams, and called Conspiracy, was written in 1969. And then all during the 70s, most of the writers of the Illuminati stuff had the housing and fiction, like Robert Antoine Wilson. And every now and then they'll get a book I call Neil Lewis's Illuminoids. But there were very few books. Till in 1984, 94, all these books, they had 10 books released on the Illuminati in 3 months. And I said, wait a minute, the Illuminati is the people who's putting out there.
because if they wanted to stop it, they would have. They had to control the district.
Right. It's just like the King Alpha plan. We took to find out the King Alpha plan, which the black community, conscious community, is going by the Bible. In all honesty, it was actually, King Alpha plan was really originally a book. It was a fictional piece inside of a book. Then the Rex 84 Ronald Reagan version, they took that and made it an actual document of what they say they were going to contain people with, and then they couldn't actually black community.
To have you thinking this is what will happen.
What's going to happen?
Why? Why would they have you thinking that? What is it about?
The whole thing is cause fear. Plus, if they give you a blueprint for what you want, and you keep thinking that, then you manifest the shit for them. You create it for them.
So we're working for them.
You work for them.
Because fear shuts down your message.
Fear shuts down the hand for the you keep him as the supreme because you are more interested in his agenda. And he's going, look, let him focus on my agenda, and that way he won't be doing his own rituals and his own shit. He won't get to his soul, which is the God that ultimately will defeat us.
So they gotta keep you on a lockdown.
Right, so how they do it now, you fit is they put out more information coming from the Illuminati
every day.
Right. And so now the black community is calm in. They're more interested in. One brother was mad at me because I didn't talk about the concentration camp. This was back in January. So I'm like, goddamn, you want to go to something. And I said, it ain't happening.
Right.
Why am I looking at a concentration camp when they can kill more than you telling me there's a concentration camp?
Right.
And then back off in the hospital called diabetes, kidney failure, this, that. All these diseases,
as you mentioned, concentration.
They was killing you with chronic disease, like AIDS.
As you mentioned, concentration camps. I see they show a lot of these concentration camps, but I don't believe nothing is on the inside. They show you like how the subway is when you go there and walk together. I don't believe
all that because we were sitting in the goddamn concentration camp.
That's right.
And as a result, because you can't walk out your front door and sit in the front court now, because it's against the law now.
Well, is it against the law now? They give you a ticket. Sit there after the sun go down, man.
Now, what is that on the thing?
Damn.
That's lockdown.
You see, that's martial law. You see what I'm saying? So martial law comes in much more high-tech forms than that. Bringing in the troops. Black World War II. So they give you a blueprint. It's old. You understand what I'm saying? Meanwhile, these people are high-tech people. These people will tell you that come January, you ain't got a box in your damn house. You won't get no fucking TV.
Not that you won't get no TV, but it's against the law.
If you don't have a TV in your house,
what's that about? You're not paying for my TV.
but before I get into the scare tactics, I always give you I already give you an alternative. I give you a counter on what's happening. So the scare tactics is this. We already got a movie out now. That in January or February, if you don't have the box, you won't get no cheap. It is for inconvenience you at first. You won't get no reception.
Right.
Then they tell you that you get a voucher for a converter box. I guarantee you, a converter box voucher, when you just have to go and you can walk down and pick it up on the street. You see me come up on that. Meanwhile, there's a movie came out called The Signal.
Really? I need to see that.
And in this movie, they send a signal, because everything is digital now. There's digital radio, digital phone service, all the lines is digital. They say they end up in the movie on antitrust. They say it's not in the box, but in the band, which is a lot of wire, and it's all digital.
And then they gonna load the bandwidth. Okay.
Digital, everything is digital now. You see what I'm saying? So, they can send the signal through the TV, through the telephone, through the radio.
As you say with the signal.
Well,
Anything of these boxes that they got, the antennas.
So hold on, the signal to make you do the hell they want you to do.
Right. If you're not spread
Now,
out.
let me tell you what they did on the movie. They sent out a signal, and everybody started killing each other. Now, these movies come in pairs. So they put the signal movie out, but they also put out the movie Happening. Happening. Where did the Happening start from? It started from Philadelphia. What happened in Philadelphia the last 4 years? Well, the other name is nothing but called Philadelphia. Nothing but Philadelphia. So they'll tell you what they already did through cable. They set out a signal and motherfuckers been killing each other since 1994.
Wow.
That's since 2004.
The ironic part is because these movies have dualities. They show that basically there was the trees, and it so happens that mostly white people is getting affected by this stuff.
I'll tell you another thing about the trees. We got trees in Atlanta. It's not satellite dishes all the time.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. I know about that.
They be artificial trees.
Yeah.
So that's what the deal is based on that. But it's not going to work. And the reason why it's not going to work is because the spirit world already saw that coming and made remedies.
Hello.
So the remedy is this. I was watching TV in April. I was watching the sister Bertha from Buffalo called me up and told me that there was a thing on Coast to Coast. That's it, with George Brewer.
Yeah.
On Dallas and Cross. On Dallas and Cross. And I'll give you a couple more to get a chance here. On Dallas and Cross, you want to get one of these cups in, you good.
It don't matter.
Yeah. Until you run out of cups. So, she told me to watch Coast to Coast. I was watching it. It was all about how Dallas and Cross was a spy on Ian McFlynn, who was the writer of James Bond. He used to work for the British intelligence and stuff like that. I already know that, but I don't work on this stuff. So this is what happened. During the break, the news came on. The national syndicated news, like MPI, one of them little things. And they started talking about a device in Switzerland that can detect dark matter and create virtual black holes. I said, they always doing something. That's it. They always doing that. Who knows what kind of technology now, but this is what struck me a call to me. Was this. They said, but America stopped this European group by taking them the card, telling them not to come on this machine. Then it takes dark matter. So we hold on back.
I'm trying to tell you.
Hold on now.
America. What?
Because America got Negroes up in here in the mass.
Okay.
So I said, hold on. Something, wait, go on, I said, wait. Anyway, the machine was called Collider. The Collider, yeah. Anyway, this machine is supposed to detect dark matter and open up miniature black holes. Now, what is dark matter but melanin? And what is but melanin and what is black holes with melanin? Now I said, now wait, and so you got it right. now, wait, you gonna take these people to court for them not killing machine dangerous that they made. These are top scientists from all over the world was involved in this. But America didn't want it to happen. Now check this out. So, on the same newscast, they said, because this is April, they said they had been in court since February. And America lost the damn case. And they said they're going to cut it on August 7th. August 7th. The day before 8808, right? They're going to cut this thing off. And so I said, wait a minute, why was the American government so head over heels to stop it? I said, oh, I got it. We are conscious people. And we represent 30 something. We used to say 5% and 85%. 5%, 95%, no 85% deaf, dumb, and blind. 10% is the worst part. No, it's not. It ain't 5% no more. We like 1%. Right, that's true. You take a mass of people out here just crying and dead. Madness. We 1%. So I said, wait a minute, hold on now. Let me think about this for a minute. I said, oh, I get it. If they cut the machine on, it detects black holes. It'll wake up the so-called 85%. The dead niggas are the 99%. It will wake them up. And that's why they don't want to do it. Because it's only doing something that 1% of the whole country's total. But there's people that's walking around here that's got the government, got all the stuff, and from the same ancestral gene pool, and if you cut the black hole stuff, which is interdimensional, you'll end up waking those people up. But not only that, as you said with the signals, they use the signal as a carrier because America set up all these signals, so when they cut on that dog hole, plus the brainwaves is nothing but signals to one another, they're going to wake up each and every person like a domino. But also this.
Right.
Also, if you cut on the collider and the people's frequency go to another level, it can go above the frequency where they got it, they can attack people from the table box. Oh, you see what I'm saying? Right. Let me tell you what's happening. Like the chemtrails. You hear about that? All of a sudden down in Atlanta, which is the CDC, they stopped having the chemtrails. Oh yeah? Yeah. Let me tell you why. You go get the ancient texts, the text of Shiva, and you can go to East, there's some books by Deb Catchman. You got a whole book on Shiva. You can buy a book. We tell you everything about Shiva. He has a book to tell you everything about Ganesha. A book to tell you everything about Hamza. East West was one by Vishnu. And you got one on Washington. Now, Shiva, in his mysteries,
I'm sorry, y'all. Who's it?
he drinks the world's poison. That's us. Nothing. The melanated people.
Hey, Carmen, how you doing? I'm good. Trying to get some info.
And what happens with us is,
Get us some info so we won't be panicking so damn much.
and then you get immune to it, because what happens is this. With us, knowing what it does, if you ask yourself about that, this is what it does. It takes the poisons and converts them into the toxins and converts them into fuel. Basically, so your chemtrails is your new nutrients for the day. Yeah, right.
said.
You said they said it broke because it was getting too much attention.
Right.
He ain't worked for damn near years because shit on the cracker don't work that way. Right. What they did was, it started getting to concern. So what they did was, they told the people that were experienced, they still out here.
That's right.
But it don't matter, because let me tell you what happened to kill trails. They come to find out, driving the damn kill trails all of a sudden. This shit start making niggas into Superman, just like that steroid shit.
Bartenders. Do you know about that? Bartenders. When I see these niggas out there, they on the club bars, and that's what I do. I work out. People don't know until they see me with the shirt, and they know I got muscles. So I'm like, bartenders, I'm like, wait a minute. These niggas dead with all these chemtrails, they not huffing and puffing. That's what they be like, I'm not huffing and puffing. That's not food, the chemtrails.
Like the verse, the poison, and the toxins.
But what's one of the main things in the chemtrails? Do you know they got it's like a shrimp, a gelatin black gelatin substance, like a shrimp. But a lot of white people is being affected by it. Bumps are coming out, and the shrimp-like thing is poking out of them.
Remember that not this S5 that came out this summer, the one came out 10 years ago. The little boys was up under the ground and was digging around, and the next thing you know, motherfucker, some black, that's called a slime or kim. That's what I was calling them.
Get out of it. Did you see the connection? And that's what's in the chemtrails. They say it's an alien. They say it's alien. I'm not saying alien as something from outer space. But nobody know about this substance on the planet.
Right. And see what's happening here is big. See, you got them chemtrails. You can make a lot of old ass motherfuckers.
Right.
But pretty soon the damn youth, you know, you see youth be walking around in the cold and fucking t-shirts. You're like, man, that nigga get old, he gonna get fucked up. The forms out of nature is these youth bodies. And you got to realize this stuff has already happened. They show this shit is something that happens. They kept quiet to Ryan Cover them had said everything. They had a nigga in the Olympics that was allowed to have his brothers.
And how you could have broke the record if he was a showman. If he was a showman, could have made it fast and stuff.
It's supposed to be a square, whereas it's supposed to be some of them within an inch from each other.
Right.
He was way on the street.
Right. What about that stuff? A black lady from America was talking about the ladies in Jamaica. And I'm surprised she put this on regular TV. I couldn't believe it. She said, somebody must have had a voodoo doll in America or something. Did you see that? She made that topic. They know it's going to fall. But like you said, he's running way ahead of them. And Jamaica was taking it. And Jamaica, look at Houston, Jamaica. We see their place, shootouts every day. They don't know how to run. Right. Do you get what I'm saying?
So they done found out. Look now, even your boys be right there on 125th Street, Black Biochemist song. Jack Tell said, hell, what you think they did in Africa? In Africa, when they had colonization in the 1800s and in the early 90s, they were about every disease that they were creating, they were driving in Africa. And the shit wouldn't fuck with the Africans until the white men started getting sick and killed them off. Half the colonizers died off for dropping the disease.
So with AIDS now, I noticed with AIDS, they have people going out, they sick from AIDS, and I'm trying to tell them that is a sham. They are black people because it's hard in the mind. Because I know this one guy, he had AIDS test. Right, this one guy, they diagnosed him with an AIDS test that he had AIDS. Somebody said, yo, look, man, go back and get a next test. He had the lesions, everything that somebody got AIDS. He went back and got a test, they said he ain't had AIDS. In about 2 days, the man got back fat, no lesions, nothing. How do you explain that?
Man, it's all, that stuff is all, here you go again. They tell you got something, you get sick. You see what I'm saying?
What you believe?
That's all the damn drugs.
Just shut down your memory.
Shut down your memory and then you die.
What they call it? The placebo effect.
Placebo effect, yeah. It's you know, they use, it can be worked out with it. So they said that they have, they don't keep the other niggas in applications last year. They had this shit on NBC News. NBC News the other day. They had applications last year. The doctors gave them motherfucking placebo. They didn't give them nothing. But some pills, some I can see with just by nothing.
So could you say that's also with the birth control pills? A lot of, because being that they think that the birth control pills will stop the pregnancy. Because I know women that take some birth control pills and they don't stop it.
Guess what? Right. In the nature world, yeah, built-in mechanism in their mind. What do I mean?
Driving time instantly.
Instantly. That was the original birth control. That's what the original period was for.
Now, let me bring up something about, because now there's a kind of discrepancy within the conscious,
You know, like a period and crying. You've been better than that thing. Now, so you come to a concession with this.
is it natural or is it not? You know what I mean?
Every damn doctor that I ever got was period. All my shit I ever been seeing, from the ancient Egypt, all the stuff, I didn't go out. What a bunch of, I find it hard. Anytime it's a fucking argument, it's supposed to be hit it up. It's supposed to not be so that doesn't you talking to something that's fair, but what I'm talking about, me, I'm talking about personally, me. Now, I can only go by what I understood. I was fucking researching too. And everything that I understood, even before that, we got that together, where it came from, they call the skin rights, which is dealing with the menstrual. The calendar is based on the menstrual cycle.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the concession was, allegedly, it comes up every 4 or 5 years. The concession was,
They say if they change their diet, the period disappears.
bullshit is gonna come on as often. Bullshit. Guess what? I know that I got something off. It's a record area. Oh, she tell her brother that.
And she still
Get
getting
married.
married.
And she the best. All of my brothers, they're the best back. They ain't gonna even send me the diet shit. It's a mystery, but we gotta find out what these motherfuckers eat, and I ain't been able to find out what these motherfuckers eat in the last 39 years.
So they advanced it.
And she still get out there. This is the concession. What we figured out. They give you a cycle, because everybody gets a cycle, including men. They just still bleed as wrong.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But then what's wrong with every little baby, you don't need a trip. Or at least a tape. Once come home, no more baby. Now, so that's what we came to the conclusion was that David's knee was wrong, but they still black. They still think they still have sight. And the reason why I say that was because one of the ancient texts talks about that it talks about there was a time that they really needed when societies was going from matriarchal cultures to patriarchal cultures. They said they had armies of men that were going warfare with women, and the warfare would be killing them. They like would be coming at any time. The power would be fuck you, rape you, and you come down crazy.
So that's what the warfare.
That was when the warfare was about. That was the power over the woman. What they didn't realize is the woman had this built-in mechanism. If she didn't want to get pregnant, you see what I'm saying? But she had psychologically brain on her period. Now, Mara, he is a nice little young sister named Ginger, and she was 11 years younger than me when we met. When I met her, I was 31, and she was doggone 20. Further, and we flew for 7 years without a goddamn mother. You see what I'm saying?
No pregnancy.
Yeah, she got pregnant.
She said, nah, yeah, she got pregnant.
But guess what? When she found out that she could bring her period on that wheel,
And she stopped it.
bring her on the wheel.
And she just stopped it.
Stop it. Hey, get up and say, hey, I'm not here. You're supposed to be on 2 days ago. You gonna go 6 o'clock. Motherfucker, 6 o'clock, your shit gonna be up. And 6 o'clock, bam.
Just like that.
Just like that.
So was it a cooperation with her mind and your mind?
No, it was cooperation with her mind. She wouldn't have got to bring that shit down.
So let me ask you this, Bobby. In this
Now,
message,
and I got another girl in Baltimore. But see, what it is just like we was talking about. If somebody never tell you you can do something, if you lose the knowledge of it, you don't think it's possible. So a lot of the things we call home.
Is it a certain time or any time?
Well, it's got to be any time you want it to simplify. Everybody's mind is different. We don't even wake up the same time each day. We don't go to bed at the same time. So it's got to be with your cycle whenever you feel.
Yeah. What's your opinion about abortion? What's your opinion about abortion? Do you feel as though it's morally wrong? Do you feel as though there's nothing wrong with it?
You kill them up all day long.
Now, why?
Shit. First of all, incarnation is the entrapment. The ancient Egyptians were shit on that shit. We got tax on that shit. You see, the Egyptians used to go over the woman, they go with her hand, grab that shit up out of her. And they used to make these cakes with the placenta, whatever the shit was, the fetus, they would make the cake and would share it to the whole damn village. We don't appreciate you and all about making fools out of us, or set making fools out of us.
Does that have a point where when the women in the hospitals now, when they give birth, they make sure they take the
placenta and all that? This is the deal. This is the deal about what you call it. Incarnation ain't not defined by the roach is incarnated. Incarnation, you see what I'm saying, is a very low level. It's a very low level. When you understand ultimately we are gods, you understand what I'm saying? Why the hell we want to go down with a hit on this Russian roulette system? Russian roulette system. You go where you go.
Just move it on. See if it flies.
Oh, okay. Russian roulette system. It doesn't necessarily mean you don't have a good life down here.
Okay.
This shit here is goddamn like a gamble.
Okay.
This being down this bitch here. So this is the hell realm. So you gonna tell me that it's divine that comes from the hell realm?
But some people, see, this is the thing that I always talk about. Some people like to turn that around and say, okay, so you incarnate and you come back and you're having hard times now, that's your karma. But I tell them I don't believe in that karma shit.
How you gonna be a you don't remember the motherfucking thing when you come back?
There's too many goddamn people on earth who talk their karma shit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And it'll take 1 billion years for everybody to correct their karma. Karma was more of an immediate thing.
Take your memories
We
anyway.
didn't study this stuff 4,000 years ago. That cause and effect, do some shit to get it's gonna come back on you.
Right.
And then after years it became more of a dogma and a moral thing, just like going to hell and sin. So this is some stuff that is blown out of proportion where it becomes irrational. If you ain't make no logic, you a nigga born, you got people born in a mud hole in Africa. You got that shit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got nothing, that's karma. My point is, karma is supposed to be things and you're supposed to be able to correct yourself. Well, for people, it's more than the proper, there is no correction. They ain't got no way to correct themselves. How you gonna correct karma? You ain't even give them a chance.
This is what I say. When people, when they bring up that karma shit, I always tell them, so if that's the case, every nigga in this world did something wrong, and you should not be complaining about this white man doing wrong. It's based on karma.
Like based on karma, we would never get out of it.
That's what I'm saying.
What it is things, the karma thing, it was a much more scientific thing, of an immediate thing. Then after the years, after the science, even in India, where some of this stuff was coming from, after the science is broken down, when you get more and more of the original thing as years go on, then the karma becomes like sin. It becomes a more religious thing. It becomes more moralistic than it originally was. So the karma is an immediate thing. You fuck me over, and shit gonna come back on you maybe a month down the road. Or maybe 2 or 3 years down. It was more of an immediate thing that it comes with. It's got these cycles of life cycles that you bouncing around.
Yeah, to come back down here in this motherfucking hole, right? Right. So my memory.
You gotta have an adequate amount of knowledge on the kind to teach you.
it.
Ain't even got no goddamn trees, let alone no books.
Okay.
That's true.
That's true. We just not getting in our ancient civilization and all this metaphysical shit. Nah, it's late. Now, so the whole thing with the abortion thing, we used to abort babies in the ancient world. We used to do birth control, but we used to kill them. Straight up kill them. And there was times where we needed some incarnation down here, so we used to have it. It was a dual system. You see what I'm saying? And later on, that stuff becomes moral. You see, that stuff becomes moral.
So could you say that Christianity is the one that blew the same thing with the comma and the birth?
No, not all modern religions are nothing but moral dogma. Christianity is one. Even forms of Buddhism. There's an ancient form of Buddhism that deals with something. A lot of stuff when it comes to religion is just this endless amount of moral dogma. You see what I'm saying?
That's to keep you in fear and check or what?
And to keep you in ignorance. Even some of the West African religions, there's dogma party in Europe. Got a nigga so he can't have sex with a damn nigga for a punk ass waterline old niggas. And just so they laugh. It's stupid shit. The God had fallen people.
Right.
Like, look at his ass over here. You go to Mama Lola's place up here with the gods. You gotta lay on your side on a goddamn rock for 3-4 days. And God is laughing at this freaking motherfucker. So this is why this shit goes in this initiation. Since we own it, so let's say this right here. If you go to Lake Garden and you choose to say, I want to be up under you and follow you when you guide me, then whatever that asshole say you gotta do it because you made that contract. Yeah, you didn't come to you and say, I want you. No, you came to them wanting to be let in. So that they say, look, don't have sex for a year, and lay on this goddamn rock for 7 days. You see what I'm saying? Cut all your hair off. You know, shave your balls or what have you. You gotta do that because you made that contract. That's that initiation.
Right, you gotta do it.
You gotta do it because you made the contract. Now, if they come to me, it's different. They come to me, they say, I want you to start having sex in your life. You gonna start having sex for that damn year? So you gotta find the same damn nigga that told you you didn't have to do it. Find that motherfucker for me. Right. Now what's the difference? The difference is, I didn't write no contract and say I'm gonna be up under you. I said, I'm with you. I am one of you.
Right.
Just like the book of the dead said. I said I'm allowed 2 gods. But I am one of them.
Right.
You're supposed to be my homeboy. And I listen to hear my prayer and report it to serious adult stuff.
Oh,
Hello.
so basically you use them as, because this is
I use them as my homies. You're one of me. Like I use them as my goddamn homies.
because one day I told her when she was like, what you know, he had Russell Simmons latch me. You notice he's into that. Yeah, latch me. And Rich was like, what you know about this, Joy? I'm like, that's my homegirl. Right. That's like, I ain't say, oh, that's the home my. No. That's my home.
Because they niggas just like you.
Okay.
They get niggas just like you.
They get mad too.
All kind of bullshit, petty shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I said, no, I'm rolling with them. You see what I'm saying? They don't be in this group. So therefore, I get the same benefits as all the issues movement. I get more shit than them.
That's right.
I get more shit than them because I'm one of them with the gods. So they be hooking me up and I'm ignoring this shit.
So let me ask you this, because I noticed some things come to me, like just out of the blue. I'm talking about.
Well, I want to say this too. While you doing this, I saw this thing on Jamaica. And in Jamaica, they got this white bulletproof rum. What's the name of this shit? Something else. What's that shit say? I can get my glasses. Wary and nephew. This is most of it is
spell it out for them so they know.
Yeah.
WRAY and then and nephew NEPHEW.
and white people. I heard that a big while with it. But I saw this is the stuff they use for the guards over here. And they even got some high people, some music.
Oh yeah.
Up over there. This way you can get here. This is a good one and stuff for the guards. They love it. Yeah.
Keep forgetting to get to it.
I'll tell you something like it. Listen, most of it is 40% alcohol by volume, which is 80 proof. Right. So this is 65, so double that be what? 120, 130, 130 proof.
I have to tell you something. As you show that, out of all the Myers, Jamaican rum, all that stuff, out of all the stuff you recommend, ain't nothing like that double springs. You know what I mean? Like, double spring, 90 vodka. That's 90 proof. They love it. They love it. They love it. Look at that shit. They break that shit in a damn. They stop messing with the Palo Viejo. They start messing with everything. Once they get over that shit, it's over.
I ran out in the spring here, and they tried working in me back with what I did. But for a minute, they had problems. So that goddamn Delta Springs vodka, what is it, 190 proof?
I think it's 160 something.
Oh, that was supposed to be lovely. Well, this one here is on the rum, the white rum, and stuff. Since we get this band Sonic, we're going to break them all. This is when I saw this on a special on Jamaica on the Travel Channel. So this is the one.
So what you about to do, libations or something?
Well, I guess it's time to spin it 4 ways on libation.
Feel better now.
Call it day. I'm sorry.
Drink with them. That's it.
Premium gas.
That means
But going back, I want to say there's one other thing to counter this thing, the TV thing. Because of this collider thing they cut on, it done up some amp, the melon to another level, and people become immune to it. So the spirit world saying, if they're going to do this, we're going to do this with the collider. So what they'll do is they'll inspire these people to build these machines. Meanwhile, the spirit world is countering this stuff. And the chemtrail stuff, they didn't even know that shit down in Atlanta this year because of some fact they like, we don't want them own none of these niggas. That's a word.
because obviously they had to notice it was doing it.
Now, some people will say, now, if there's a spirit world, why would the spirit world allow blacks to suffer for so long? Some people will say, why does the spirit realm allow blacks to suffer
So long.
for so
Like the
long?
dead ones. Until I make the impression of it continuous. Exactly. First of all, you gotta understand. So Dr. Bill said this for years. It's a good analogy. We don't understand the timeline that we did on the planet. We reign from let's just take a conservative place. Let's take ancient Canada. Now, according to Abraham, they ruled for 10,000 years or 11,000 years. America is only it was only 200 years old in 1976. You see what I'm saying? Very long. That makes it 232 years. And the stock market already crashing. They ain't had no civilization to go nowhere in a couple hundred years, period. And we ruled, they said they studied the stars for 40,000 years and didn't tell nobody. Yeah. So, we ain't suffered. This motherfucking intermission.
Right. It's like doing how you say detection.
Hibernation. Now, why did it have to go through all of this? If you've done a human thing, you know what I'm saying? Then you got to go to the decay stage to become something other than human. So the human aspect of had to decay. But what is decay? Decay is fertilizer. Right. It had to decay, you understand what I'm saying? To the depths of the molecule to make a new God. This is a part of our learning process. Otherwise, we still be out there.
So what else? So what you say that, Bobby? Now, why does it seem that blacks can't unite for some reason?
They are supposed to unite
together.
They are supposed to unite. If you was united for 50 million years, why the hell would you gonna want to go to have a repeat performance of some shit that you
That's
what fuels us is to see the pride of our people.
Yeah.
I was stuck in the greed and heart mode for 10 damn years. Oh, my people, my people, my people. You see what I'm saying? Now the judge just hate them. Because I know what I'm talking about as a master. When I read something I read maybe 15 years ago. They said the spirit man, they have death, murder, mayhem, pain, and suffering. But the spirit man walks right through the crowd. That ain't nothing happening. And I said, how awful. I'm like, how am I irresponsible? I read this 15 years ago.
Right.
I understand the spirit man saying, hey, this is just a series of illusions that have to occur for it to be a better state.
Right.
And a better stage. Because now the revolutionary has become a religion like anything else. And a religion is insanity. What is insanity? Repeating the same thing over and over.
It's like all different.
So the goddamn talk has been the same since I've been coming to New York and since I was down in Atlanta with the revolutionaries.
Same thing.
We don't own this. We don't do that. We don't do this. We don't do that.
Going on for more than 50 years.
I talked about there was a woman named Kate Thompson. Had a TV show, a radio show up here. I think another woman, I think she made the transition named Shashi McIntyre. She was a scholar back in the 90s. She's dead now. And it was Leonard Jeffries. There was a couple of people. It was a radio show. And they was talking about the black problem. Everybody who was calling in had great solutions. But the problem was, you don't have enough schools, you don't have this, you don't have enough people treating our children, this, the right kind of people doing this, the healthcare, this, and that, and that, and that. And then, it was starting at 8 o'clock, about 9 o'clock, the radio show. So it went on to 12. And at 12 o'clock, the spirit broke harder than ever seen. And somebody said, for just a brief bet, somebody said, hey, maybe we are not to do those things that we are saying that we need to do. You see what I'm saying? And for a brief minute, everybody was wondering, and then the shit shut that down. And the niggas left the station and stuff.
On the same shit.
On the same shit.
So let me ask you, as you got into that, because I know a lot of these Masons, they look to join the Masons, and I heard Jewett Booker, you know about that Booker. She said it's an insult. She said because that whole thing of going in the coffin and coming out is just from birth. So how could you go back and do that? And I don't see a lot of these black Masons looking out the way they should and being more the esoteric stuff.
Black Masonry, good question. Black
Masonry is only what it is. It's just a social club.
Oh, there you go.
It has no knowledge base too. Now, I can probably go and read the principles of it and see some of these principles were stuff that went back to the Moors when they gave the Europeans these particular things. But over the years, but the way it was designed, the Prince Hall to take it to the black people, you see what I'm saying? It's no more than just another form of inspiration. They are inspired. You see what I'm saying? By fellowship and different things like that. But
and just text me and say,
so yeah, where was I?
The Masons.
Yeah, so that what you see with the black thing is just a social club. You gotta realize, man, it's been since the 60s. Because enrollment went down in years, but since the 60s, it's been at an average that's been maintained since the 60s, even with new enrollment, 2 million black Masons. 2 million. Now, if we got 2 million black men that had just 5 degrees of knowledge, we would have been like, just 5 degrees of knowledge. And the only reason why a lot of people say that is because they haven't initiated in the laws. See, purposely, I didn't initiate in the Prince Hall Masonry, but for a time, Dr. Gill had a craft. And I initiated in that, but he used the same degrees at first for us to initiate in the Master Mason degrees. He used those for us to initiate with in conjunction with the other Black Rogers, like Prince Hall and a couple other ones.
Submerge into it.
Yeah, so I did get into that particular part. I just go, and I'm trying to tell you, and my brother is fucking trying. Mason of the year for 10 years out of South Carolina. You tell you know nothing. Just drinking liquor and driving cabs. That's it. Fish fries.
Oh, man.
They sang the song. And I was like, this is Lord, but now, spiritually, they were from the top end. So there's some shit going on. We're going to get into that tomorrow. The symbolism.
Right.
We're going to get into that tomorrow. What the shit is really about. This is the real masturbation stuff we're going to get into.
All right, let me ask you this. As you just went there, talk about the spirituality, because I know I had certain dreams. I won't even talk about them now. But there's also, and I've been telling people this, and I'm surprised most Masons don't know about this, there's also initiation in the spirit. Could you talk on that?
Well, that's basically what most initiations are. It's like what you reading or most initiations physically are only simulations of what the soul is doing.
Right.
And that whole spirit realm thing. Right. You see what I'm saying? And basically, like, I've been going through initiation for years. You see what I'm saying?
In the dream realm?
Well, not only that in life, because it's the part of that is dream, part of that is just interfacing with certain things in the spiritual environment that just happen. You see, so it's even bigger than the dream realm. And the dream realm is a part of that. But it's a whole ecology of things. It's a way of thinking.
The whole piece of the cake, basically.
Yeah. It's a way of thinking. You see what I'm saying? On that particular level. So it's you can't just throw it all up and just take one piece of it. Because one piece of it is going to be a fragment, and ultimately that leads to dogma. You see what I'm saying? That leads to lockdown.
This is the way it has to be in this life.
And so that's what it is when most of our groups out here are on this type of stuff. Most of it is arguing over history. They don't even argue over spirit shit.
Yeah.
You got the world, they just got there arguing over history. And you making up history.
And then when I talk, they got a tendency to see you as crazy when you start talking that esoteric shit, when the ancient minds used to do it all the time.
That's really how you think the white man got the esoteric shit. They brought it up from fucking out of the mystery schools of Egypt. But there's another thing also too on me. I want to say this too. There's another thing on why they can't obtain that high knowledge. They say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And a lot of them, ego-wise, are not able to obtain that particular knowledge because they got ulterior motives. And so what the spirit will do, it will hide from them and fuse itself into stuff that will be distractions like history or whatever type thing, because they know that person is really not up to it. If he really got into some stuff, he might go crazy. You see what I'm saying?
Well, a lot of the historians argue about the esoteric knowledge because they're saying it's bogus because you can't prove it. It's not.
Well, see, now, one thing is this about that. See, this is what happened with that. And it's a tragedy.
Because there's like a divide.
Now, let me tell you the tragedy. Tragedy. Number one, I can't say that New York is at a deficit. When I say deficit, I'm not talking about in the positive term. I'm talking about in the negative term. It's the whole way this city is set up for survival. You have to survive most of your life. You see what I'm saying? Because you got hiring. You see what I'm saying? And then, so if you have a survival culture, you always an antagonistic culture. You see what I'm saying? Because of the culture is such an antagonistic culture. So, because you gotta survive out here and use the ego or use whatever you have just to get by each day because it's so hard out here. But that also trickles down in every little scheme in your life, even when it comes to getting this particular knowledge. You love to debate. You love to be in the antagonistic element and state of combat.
Yeah, that's true.
And as a result, that leads you off the path because of the weather, because of lack of non-nature. So you have a lot of things, but meanwhile, you're double-edged sword. So what happens is because you're in such a hostile environment, the first thing that leaves is humility. Because in a hostile environment, kindness is considered weakness. You see what I'm saying? So therefore you understand, but so the humility, you see what I'm saying? The humble environment is alien to you all up here because of the simple fact here. You see what I'm saying? Because you live in such a hostile ecological system and stuff like that. So it's harder for you to accept, to deal with things on a spiritual level outside of religion. Now let me give you an example. Now you got black people that's saying that we don't buy spirit stuff because you can't prove it. Now look at this. Let's say 150 years ago, you had indigenous people on the planet, including the fucking slaves, retaining a certain amount of shit that they got from Africa. But indigenous people around the world had no problem dealing with stuff that was spirit because it was all a part of their lives. Remember the little movie on Last Summer, like you saw that time?
Yes.
Yeah, and the guy said, I see these people, they're working, I'm not a religious man. He said, they're doing certain things in the society, but why do I think that everything they're doing is a spiritual environment?
Right.
Just that everything goes about their business for spiritual, ecological system. And he saw it outside of religion. Now, 150 years ago, all the indigenous people on the planet will understand spirituality at the properly now, because they are spiritual, they live in a spiritual environment, they are spiritual minded. But the white man, so you're going to prove it.
Okay.
But listen to me what I'm trying to tell you. I love it. Look at the tragedy of what has happened of living in a hostile environment. 150 years ago, you go around the planet, every indigenous person, they ain't got no problem with people and nothing spiritual. But the white man, not coming from a spiritual environment, coming out of what? Hardship, ice, warfare, caves, darkness, lawlessness. And he gets, all of a sudden, he gets on a little suit coat, a little stuff that the Mormons give him. And he starts to dress well, and he's talking about his age of the black man. He's going about it the wrong way, but he's only going about the way of his environment because he came out of an ice box.
So basically, his train, that's the only thing he knows.
He has to be a logic, rationale, and the intellectual aspect. It might take 100 years to prove it, but he won. But now look at this shit. 2008. The white man is more spiritual than you. Me and Rex was talking about that. What was it yesterday when you had the camera?
Maybe so.
Because I was saying,
Let me finish.
listen. He's more spiritual than you because he's been exposed over the past 200 years more shit than you. And you have been in a thawed icebox outside of your environment, locked into fucking religions or outmoded movements. Until now, you have become the 19th century white man.
And so the white man,
He is the DC, they in all this shit. They got 100,000 witches as of 2006 account. In 2000, in Australia, they had 50,000 witches registered in Australia. And the witches was dealing with the divine elements of rituals and magic,
which is ISIS, right?
all of that. As of 2006, they got 100,000 witches in Australia. Getting down with what they say, ISIS and Osiris.
So, and they keep on rising each year.
And we fuck around on some bullshit. Even if we talk shit about the people that's on the religion, we ain't got to do that because the conscious community, you understand what I'm saying? The conscious community ain't interested in one thing. They learn from fucking argument.
Right. That's true.
Argument,
That's right.
and they setting themselves off into what they believe and making a religion to feel superior to the other groups.
That's right. That's true.
We're getting all this fucking turmoil. All this fucking turmoil. So now we can't register nothing spiritual. Everything spiritual now sounds crazy to us, like
So let me ask you something about the aura. Because remember they had a time they said it never existed.
Right.
Because it couldn't be proven. Then they finally made a lens where you could get a picture of your aura, but they changed it. They don't call it our aura, they call it biofield.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, he has to always put stuff in his terminology. Why? Because he always wants you to think that he came up with it. The whole shit has been around for 1,000 years, but he was bringing it in and he was like, that white man is rich. That's a trick.
Right, right.
You see what I'm saying? You know, and stuff like that. So my point here is, we got a bad here now just to be spiritual. We're religious. We are conscious as far as organization, revolution, or what have you, historical, you see what I'm saying? But when it comes to spirit,
Well, the main thing, Bobby, is that, from what I'm getting, what they're saying is that we have to concentrate and focus on, we can't even pay our rent. If they're saying that we can't pay our rent, why should we be worried about these high
so I'm going to ask you something.
This is temporary, boy.
If you don't have high spirituality, do you still have to concentrate on paying the rent? I think so.
Yes, yeah.
It's just like, I want to say one time, she says, shit. And I went to the law school. She said, well, how many 30 years? It was medical school.
Yeah, that's right.
She said, in 7 years or 8 years, I'll be 58 years old. So I'm contemplating real heavy on not going to law school. And the person told her, in 7 or 8 years, if you don't go to law school, how old will you be?
Same shit.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah, you got a point.
It's irrelevant. Now, you ever heard it take one step to Allah, it takes 2 steps to you?
Yeah.
Well, maybe if you got into some of this that you couldn't see, some of this type of stuff, maybe you will find out that might coincide with you ease up out there in the rent. It might be of some help.
Embrace it.
Yes. You see what I'm saying? That's the ego again.
So let me ask you this, as you got on that topic. I was talking to this older man, but I couldn't see it at the time. I was talking to this older man, and I was like, all this shit that's going on, man, and all these other people caught up in that hype, I was able to get past that. So you can't tell me they can't get past it too. And the black man looked at me and he said, you was an exception to the rule. I never thought about that. So could you speak on that? The people that is an exception, is it because they're tapping in to the spirituality?
You came back to the plan for that. You see what I'm saying? Make no mistake about it. Your consciousness is a privilege. That's why you shouldn't do nothing to jeopardize its path to ultimate realization. So don't never get off the path with these rebase groups unless somebody stir you. You see what I'm saying? And you find out you 10 years, 13 years, 20 years talking the same old shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man, I might have been relevant for that time. Fucking, notice why we've been dead for 70 years. Goddamn.
And they still on that double duality shit.
See what I'm saying? Don't do it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And it's funny, they will deify him, but I wanted to hear them say dualization too.
But when they got into that, though, they only deify because it's expedient to bring them up to speed with the rest of the groups.
So what about Haile Selassie? What's your take on that with these dreads? Because they really pissing me off with that, with the big blood.
Let me bring what's going on. To be fair, what needs to be going on is this here. We have to separate ourselves. There's priests. You see what I'm saying? Then there's the adepts that can lose their way. You see what I'm saying? The neophytes, Moses just plain dead. You got to. So my point here is, all of those things had their divineness within their time. Yes, down to him. Bob Marley, the dead, he's been dead right now for 27 years. See what I'm saying? So my point here is, each one of those things are building blocks of a pyramid to get to the capstone. But you just can't stay on the building blocks. Well, so they are divine because we needed them at a certain time. You see what I'm saying? It's just that we are way off in the damn 2000s now, in the umpteen dimensions. You see what I'm saying? And we stuck on the building block, but some people need that to come out of darkness. You see? Some people will keep going, and some people become stuck. Because that's what happens down here in this matrix. You see what I'm saying? Now, as far as you are concerned, you were born. And it's like a fish to water. It's almost like it's so easy for you to comprehend this shit. Right. It's almost like it's just embedded in your DNA. You wrote it yourself. Well, we have, because he was talking about
We have.
the Goliath cut on himself. He had an incident. He sent me $300 and sent me a book on thinking real rich type thing. And I went off on this motherfucker like no tomorrow. I mean, like insanity. Midway into the damn, this brother, midway into the conversation, I had realized that I had gone to one of those moments. I didn't tell him because I realized, oh shit. There's a moment, what happens in this here, with the Kundalini energy, there's some of the knees or when she up, and they shot that light on themselves the day before the 8th, because they wanted a certain amount of energy to build up for 8 a.m. Right. My Kundalini got to a certain level. When it shot to a certain level, I'm thinking yeah, you got the fuck things went crazy on me. I said, motherfucker, broke. And this nigga is out of his goddamn mind. But what happened was I realized that I've had this shit happen before. When the Kundalini shoots up to a certain level and it goes past the level that it's usually going to, it goes to that next dimension that you haven't gone before. There's a brief moment of insanity. Until your shit get focused to it. And I'm right. When I called him, I wasn't even calling him to congratulate me for thanking him for sending me the $300 and instead of flipping, I ended up going over in this nigga. Well, sir, I remember my motherfucking mother. Right. Well, sir, a madman. And he was like, man, I never knew you was a nigga like you. Like, goddamn. Nigga, you done lost your fucking like, and then in the middle of the shit, when the shit opened up, what happened is you go to reserve, and then there's a bliss. In the middle of the bliss, I realized, oh shit. I'm a goddamn fool. You caught yourself. Yeah. Then I started apologizing and shit. And in the middle of that shit came up, the spirit came to me and said, he sent you the book because he wrote the book. Oh, all right. It was a hermetic book and he's from a line of the Tahuti. That's how that intertwined. That's how that intertwined. I said, you could have gotten that point. I guess he sent you the book. So the book was not and the Kundalini, and the Kundalini experience, right, is a Tahuti experience. So it's a combination of all what was going on. Insanity, and as a result, I benefited from the money. And I benefited because I realized I had just gotten a quickening. And he benefited from knowing what spirit he was. But it had to come out of chaos. Right. Born out of chaos. Right. Born out of chaos. And that's how melody works. So, as you talk on that, could you get on the basis of infinity? Because a lot of people, you hear them say infinity and eternity. And it's funny that Calvin Klein, is it one of them eternity? He has an infinity and he has an infinity and eternity. Yeah. And I found that's weird. But could you touch on that a little more? On infinity? Because it's ironic. Am I correct? Well, it's ironic that this is a number 8 year. And the 8 is infinity. That's why I organized Monaco with bow tie. It represented the bow star, which is Sirius, or Orion. Sirius is in the middle of Orion's belt.
Sirius A or Sirius B or
Sirius B is right beside Sirius A. Okay. But, so they were both tied representing Orion and Sirius. They also represent the 8 infinity. You see, so we're in our 8 years, so this is the year where all things come together. And it did. Just look at the Barack Obama thing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Not only is he the 44th president, but 4 and 4 is 8.
That's right. And this whole thing is change, and the thing for change is 8. The numerology for change is 8, and 9 is completion.
Yeah.
So when he come in to it, it's going to be in the 9th year, which is going to make it complete. Am I correct?
Right. All right. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of that stuff, you see what I'm saying, coincide. So we are in that particular juncture right now. That's why I tell people that another thing when it came to the people to get us off is, and I used to tell people this, if I give you a goal and you point towards the goal and you are here, you have eliminated a whole dimension of lifetime between you and that goal.
You don't got to go through all the obstacles because you.
No. What I'm trying to say is you done fucked up because you're looking at the goal. You have eliminated your whole surrounding of the now.
Okay, I understand. Living in the now, not in the past, present, or future.
Right. Because the future is going on as we speak.
Right now.
So as a result, in the 90s, all you heard on TV, millennium. As soon as the millennium got here, 2012.
They keep on trying to get you focused on that.
2012 is a season. We are getting it now.
Right.
One of the events of the 2012, we experienced on Tuesday.
All right. That Barack Obama.
I don't give a damn who they say put him there.
Right.
Put him there, it happened.
It's spiritual.
It's spiritual.
Because you touch that animate thing.
Well, I do that wrong.
But so are you pro Obama or are you con now? Because the conscious community is saying that he's one of the, he's a puppet. He's part of the Illuminati.
Let me explain something to you. How the spirit people look at things. The spirit world looks at a bigger picture. They're out here looking back. The matrix world is an immediate world that looks with things based on reaction. You see what I'm saying? The spirit world looks at a bigger picture. Because we understand there's forces that put certain things together. So what they'll do is they look down at a chessboard. They say, well, this game is played here on this physical political earth. Here are a group of dupes and barons and whatever, and they hold the gatekeepers. They hold the keys to this political process. They're the Illuminati, Sun and Bones, CIA, FBI, what have you. So, now we're up here, and we're trying to get our man from this side of the board to this side of the board. We got to go through them, so we must inspire them to come up with the idea to run a black president. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
To make this happen for a response, not for Barack Obama to become a president and change things, but a change inside of us. Right. By seeing something that we've never seen in our lives. Right. So the slave is never ran the plantation. None. We had some great jobs, Joint Chief of Staff, Secretary of State, Governor this, 45,000 questions, but we have never run the country. The plantation, the country. Now, although we know that Barack Obama got a job like everybody else, he was not in charge. But nevertheless, the image we're talking about is the way the game is played. He's in charge as far as the image of America. Right. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about the kingship, but as we even know that the king and the pharaoh was run by a priest. Correct? So the point I'm trying to make here is, no matter how you say about the Illuminati, of course he had to meet certain criteria and go through certain stages, or you don't get to run for president. spirit world looks at it this way. We're going to play that game, you see what I'm saying, to get him here, not because he's the man to do the job, because he is the one that's going to ignite a reaction in the people. You saw it that damn Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
The people went crazy.
Yeah.
And he ain't know, we ain't seen him stand up in that White House yet. Can you imagine that motherfucker standing up on that White House lawn?
But with his wife
Next to that black ass body, and got that little baby girl, she made you know. They was having to look up.
both of them.
But that baby was goddamn.
Yeah.
She
She
was
was
raising
raising
herself.
sales energy.
Woo! The other one look like him. We see him every day, so I'm used to that. The other one look like her. I don't see Michelle every day, but I'm telling you, he is. Just the energy of the city road that turned into the White House. It was the White House in Egypt.
Right.
So we're dealing with energies and down here. Let me explain something about the physical one. The messianic energy of the Messiah can never come or manifest physically in this realm. Because ultimately this realm is an illusion. So that which is real cannot manifest in the unreal. It can only send symbols and signs. And he is the only thing close to a Messiah you're going to get.
They're calling him the Obama side.
Obama Messiah. The only thing they're going to get, now there is a messianic energy, there is a real Messiah, which is inside of us.
Right.
But the only thing that the matrix can tolerate or that can manifest, you see what I'm saying, is what you see with Barack Obama.
So have you been seeing the t-shirts they have with him while he's not as a Buddha? He's as a Buddha. And the Buddha, this position, and he got the head, they got the head of Barack Obama on the Buddha.
Look at this.
He's like a unicorn.
Like a unicorn.
And it's white.
Right? Unicorn, the horn represents the pioneer land.
All right.
You see, represents the pioneer land.
What paper is that, by the way?
This is called Creative Movement out of Atlanta. This is one of the papers like your Village Voice.
Oh, yeah.
Same concept, a little bit smaller. But this has been probably one of the most famous papers for years down there.
So
outside of your bigger papers.
do you believe they know exactly what they was doing? Because why would they choose a white unicorn to have? Or are they trying
And
to...
then they say, how about the election fantasy? But I didn't know this film know that the fantasy
It's reality.
is reality.
All right.
You see?
I got you.
Now, Brother Bobby, we touched earlier on the Moors. We
Yeah.
talked about the Moors a lot.
Yeah.
We touched on this another tape, but there's a lot of new brothers and sisters that's going to be watching this tape that probably didn't see prior tapes that you did. And I want to end there.
Keep some water coming, man.
You finished?
Yeah, come on, I got that girl this pioneer plan, man. You bullshit.
Now,
24 dollars every day.
it's fun, but tell you ain't nothing but middle-aged house niggas now. What goes wrong? As barbaric, as savage, as volatile as this European is. There's no fixing it. None. There's no making it spiritual at all. What's the most wrong for civilizing this devil?
They civilized, the European was not civilized for the European. The European was civilized for us. Again, looking at the bigger picture. Looking at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is this. We knew we was going to go into this decline, this hibernation, this sleep state, this null state, this nod, winking and nod state. It was going to nod off of history.
It was already foreseen.
Yeah, we knew it because we understand energy can only be occupied in a certain amount of time, and that energy, in order for that energy to get to a new energy, it has to go dormant. You see what I'm saying? To go dormant. You see what I'm saying? So, what happened was, by us knowing this, we knew Are you going to have him rule the planet as a civilized barbaristic man?
Intellectual,
Right. Civilized, intellectual barbaristic man. Make a lot of sense. Make a lot of sense. Because if you make him an intellectual, then you can retrieve your knowledge once you wake up. So we knew we were going to go to sleep, and we know we were going to come out of our sleep. And we were going to be able to travel about and retrieve our information. But we wouldn't have been able to retrieve our information if we didn't make them custodians
of the knowledge
by civilizing them and making them intellectuals and people who gather. They are great collectors.
So wait a minute. Because a lot of people like to touch on white people don't have a soul. And what I always say is you gotta remember what the ingredient with the Moors, you got the Moors to thank for that. The Moorish, the Emperor of Morocco married a white woman and had children by her.
I just said one little family line. Guess what? The Moors did. I'll talk about this tomorrow. The Moors have been in Europe for 700 years. Their one of their primary job was to fuck the white woman. So they wanted the ingredient. They had the ingredient. Look, this is what it is. It's called cleaning the Aegean statement. Now let me explain this. It's documented. The book by British people of the sea.
Some Moors ain't gonna like you for that, brother.
It's called people of the sea. Now you gotta understand where I'm coming from here. The Egyptians created a race of people. We got that in their text. Right. We got the Leviticus, and I mean, properly created another we created another man, or another type of man. Now, the Shenan Kia is right there in his book on African origins of civilization with a reality. There's a part where he said the Egyptians had these Europeans up in the northern section of the world, savages, and they sat there and put the knowledge, and they almost waited too long to go and civilize them. They could have done it a little earlier, and we might have been out of this mess a little earlier. But when Muhammad, if there was a Muhammad, I don't get all this debate on history, right? When Muhammad, one thing happened, he took Egypt and invaded Egypt before Muhammad's death. And so the ancient Egyptian priests banded together under a banner of Islam to go up into Europe. These Moors, which was the Moors was established long. The word Moor was established long before the Egyptian period, before they did the Arab invasion. But nevertheless, they banded under these Moors, and they took all this ancient knowledge up into Europe. You see, up into Europe. They took a lot of that letter to Baghdad, translated it into Arabic, took it up into Europe. Took stuff to Turkey, translated the Arab, took it up into Europe. Set up the 17th University of Salamanca being the most known, best known. Under a banner of Islam, so they can use Islam like the Republican Party. I can get a black man in the Republican Party, or the Democratic Party. They use the Islam not as a religion of a party
to bring more people in.
Well, they also do, as the religious faith, they can also impart knowledge to people as a uniting force by imposing the knowledge on people. These barbarians need to be imposed. The best way to impose some shit on them is through religion. Right. But they knew there was more than some old shit, which is another word for Osiris. Allah is another word for Osiris. Yes. Osiris in the Book of the Dead is the god of the Lord of Sirius. In the Quran, in the Surah of the Star, it says this is the God who created both male and female for one single ejaculation. He is the God, he is the Lord of Sirius. The Lord of Sirius in Egypt is Osiris. Although Isis is Sirius, you got Horus is Sirius, you got Anubis is Sirius. But the Lord of Sirius that created both male and female, they talk about the ancient Lord is Osiris. Before that is the God Set.
So when did Kunam come along and they buy and cop? Because that's a whole branch.
That's It's the principles behind this.
And brothers argue over the names when it's the principle that they got.
Behind it. We don't know who the fuck this shit is. But that doesn't matter. They're giving the names for the good register. Right.
Because they like to say you're saying the name wrong.
Yeah, all that, because that's what we do out here. The words you said that. We're so divisive. It ain't nothing you learn from this goddamn campaign. They do that word around a lot. We are so divisive, and that's the word that detects us. Niggas on the street, the conscience, we're running that wrong. We so fucking divisive. Because that's the ego. I want to know something more than you. I want to teach you something. Everybody, right? You just got different doggone philosophies and explaining it.
That's
So,
Different perspective.
different perspective and explaining it is the principle behind it.
right.
We grew for thousands of years and might be 8,000 principles. No, 8,000 names to discuss the principle.
Right. But the point is, the principle is still good.
Right, the principle. So before it was the moon, it might have been set. But that's the pre-dynastic God.
Right.
So that's a whole another damn 10 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this. We're gonna go back to this one thing. We'll go back to this thing. So they knew that they had to civilize these people to make a better world for us to wake up into. After we go to sleep.
Because they're already sorry.
Yeah, they saw it. So pay attention. Just like the spirit world saw that we need a person to symbolize a rise of a people. So therefore, we're going to take him, inspired Illuminati, skull and bones, what have you, to put this brother up here.
To activate their pineal glands.
So, to put this brother up here as a symbol of those people's lives.
And one of his next slogans was, yes, we can.
Right?
Yes, we can. Yes,
Right.
we can.
So he's only a symbol of a greater rise of a world we don't know we're part of yet. You see what I'm saying? We're going to get into that tomorrow, but going back with this type thing, going back with this, we make arguments. But we make these arguments and we don't believe in integrity enough of these arguments to go to them to find out whether they're true or not. We'll just stick with what we think.
Right.
Because we won't be interested in the argument. We're not interested in knowing. That's one problem I always had. I always had a problem. I always wanted to know. I didn't want to be right. That didn't have no bearing on me. I didn't want to teach nobody.
Just want to know.
I want to know. People say, I had to get me lecture because I didn't want to teach nobody. Motherfuckers in Atlanta made me lecture. Nobody ever go ask a lecture. You sign this book, put your lecture down, and do this shit on the 27th of June, 1992. And they made me do it. That's the chosen, not by me. I didn't want to do it. I just want to do the research.
Right.
And at this time, in this day, I don't really want to know.
Right.
I don't want to be the person that everybody go, you king of the knowledge. So what's that gonna do?
Okay.
Nothing. You see what I'm saying? Am I
Hello.
saying it well?
Right.
What was that gonna do? That's another illusion.
So what about the ones that's afraid of knowing and afraid of being wrong?
Well, that's just, everybody got their idiosyncrasies. It's just a form of insanity. Everybody's crazy. You live that way, you won't be disturbed.
Right.
I look at the motherfucker before. Every human I look at is an insane
He almost
person until I
does.
find out otherwise. Right?
Right.
And even if you pass the litmus test, he just passed a certain degree of sanity. Because down here, you got to be crazy. Just to survive. Period.
He don't get his hands up about that.
Period. So you got to look at that type of thing. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of the people that make these arguments, they are only into it for the argument. Is that thing only? Yeah, they're only into it for the argument. They don't give a damn about knowing the truth. Otherwise, it will kill you not to know. That's the problem with me. It kills me not to know.
I really feel like I'm burning. I can only say for me.
So I'm not happy with what I find.
You need
need to know more. I mean, I could say 10 years ago. Damn it, I got it all now.
That's it.
Man, I haven't realized I can just way back. You know how much I learned in 10? You know how much I learned in 5 years? You know how much I learned since last month?
Shit, try to read. You ain't right.
Hey, you done forgot more than people remember.
Yeah. But motherfucker be like, you know what? Did I say that?
Okay.
Yeah, you said I said, did I say that?
Right.
I got to study that shit.
Yeah, that was some deep shit.
That's some deep shit.
Alright.
Do you take it as you was in a track? Well, basically, gotta be a spirit working through you
Of
to
course.
come up with some stuff. Because I know what you're talking about. No spit there, but I had to study also. But you know what I'm saying? It's not that I forgot the knowledge. What is happening is I just caught up to the shit.
Yeah.
Or I look at it as another perspective too. I can read some stuff that I read 4 years ago, read it again, and go, oh shit.
Right.
Yeah. That's the thing about the mythology. You'll never get on top of it. That's why it's the best. But that's what we were in the ancient world. In the Greek mythology, that's all black. That's the issue.
You know what's
Any kind of mythology around the world. You read it now, you go back 5 years later, it's something else. But your knowledge and your understanding of it is going you to another level. You see what I'm saying?
Basically, you're not inside the box no more. You're more outside the box. And not only that, you're shaping the box. You could make it to a triangle if you want. Basically, you're making it convert to a
And
triangle.
it always evolving too.
Okay, so as you evolve, your surroundings evolve around
Yes, your understanding evolves. You understand. Let me put it this way. The Barack Obama had come about in 1998 or 1996. I'd be like, that nigga, y'all need to watch that nigga. I don't trust that nigga. So the man, but when you evolve and let the spirit do things, you see what I'm saying? Then you look at a bigger picture. Back then, I was into the immediate, all I was knowledge and stuff. You're always into the immediate. You don't look at things on a bigger perspective because we're in that antagonistic mode. That's what you do from birth to 40. And after 40, a lot of people started going into another, that's what this mystery system you got out at age 40. You start evolving into another reality. Some people, they still stay idiots. It takes them years longer.
Okay.
Some of them never do anything. But I'm talking about on the conscious level, some might take them a little longer. But my point here is if you evolve, you start looking at a bigger picture and you start reading things spiritually.
So let me ask you what.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good movie that I just thought about when you said that basically like makes me think about the conscious community. You ever seen the movie Vantage Point?
Yeah.
Now there's an event that happened. There's 7 people that described the event, all from different perceptions.
Exactly.
Everybody's right, but it's different. So what happens in the conscious community? You got one brother arguing with another brother, both of them right, but they arguing about the same thing. They don't even realize it. It's just from different perspectives.
Yeah. The key is, I'm not interested in the context of the argument, or I'm not even interested in philosophy. I'm only interested in the meaning of it,
Right.
the principle of it,
Right.
the total outcome. They house one principle and I have 7 different mythologies to explain the principle. So people that come later will be all over the different houses of mythology and don't get the principle.
You just caught up in the moment of the argument.
Yeah, well, see now they think they're right because they're only dealing from one perspective of the mythology. It's different. So it might be Chinese mythology, it might be West African mythology versus the East African mythology. It's all the same mythology, but the ancient people could come together because they were only interested in the principle. So the neophyte looks at the container in which the principle comes from.
Right.
invincible man. Yeah. As what the principle comes with. He's only interested in the container. The priest is only interested in the principle. That's the shortcut.
Right. So what's so special?
Right.
Because you just mentioned 40. What's so special about this number 40? Why is it always symbolized even the white man, every people I know, they look at 40 as the turning point of life, right? Why? What's so special in that number? Well,
it means this. The Egyptians said you were only an adult at 30. Called him at 30. And just think about it. It means that you've been an adult for 10 years. You see what I'm saying?
right.
So, if you was a young adult when you were at 30, an adult, imagine where the wisdom starts to come if you're 10 years into it. You see what I'm saying?
Advancement.
Right. It's just that now, yeah, you see, now it's interesting here because the European society say you're an adult at 18. Well, they had to, because most people was dead at 30.
Right. So they have
Most Europeans were dead at 30. You see what I'm saying?
So they have no
They
choice.
had no trouble. Most Africans lived to 300 years.
You know, as you said, let me make one point.
If they wanted to.
Right. If they wanted to.
Mhm.
Let me make one point. I notice in this society that the youth, especially the black communities, the youth are always quick to want to leave home. But when or the parents quick to want to throw them out due to this Western civilization. But I notice the Asians don't do that. They got some Asians where their sons and daughters stay in their house till like 30.
And they got a lot of Italian guys now.
Right.
Moving back into their mother.
Right. Which I find is ultimate because when you look at it, they build up a stronghold, and not only
That's right.
physical, but knowledge-wise and
I'm
spiritual.
telling you what they say also, I think this has also to do the same thing you talk about. We give you another principle that also has to do with what shapes your life to the spiritual thing. And I'll show you what white people do. I'll show you what black people do in the modern world. But I'm gonna show you what the science is. They say in order to make a decent human being or an advanced human being, there's a certain amount of playtime a child has to get to. It has to go through a certain amount of playtime. The more wealthy you are, the more the child can play more. I was fortunate enough to have a storybook childhood. Any childhood you see on TV that you might go, we didn't have that really happen. I had that reality. Because all intents and purposes, the difference between me is I grew up wealthy. I come from a wealthy family. It's different. One millionaire, but there were thousands. I never wanted. You understand what I'm saying? I never wanted. I always had the finest clothes. Always had. People used to come to our house for Christmas to play. Because we had most of our toys. I had 3 brothers. One a year younger and one a year older. So we were stair-steppers. Which means all the toys you're going to have, there's going to be some Tonka toys over here and some goddamn dump trunks over here, some G.I. Joe or some whatever was the shit back then. But we all had the same kind of toys because we was only a year apart. Then I had a grandmother that bought toys for us. My mama bought toys for us, and then I had a fucking aunt that would come down from D.C. and buy toys. And all there was motherfucking school teachers that had money.
So she was privileged to that.
So I was privy to that. What happened was, so we can have years of play. And what play does, it makes you analyze the world around you because you play in the role. That's why the white motherfuckers are more advanced than us. We have hardship. You see what I'm saying? So they play and stuff like that. And so by the time they get to a certain thing, they can run the world.
Because they know how to play it off.
Not only that, what happens is play opens up analytical ability. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Right. And then the play, it advances as you get older. So there was a certain play with taught us stuff, but then again, we had a high school thing going on, and all this. So my point here was, because I had so much at an early age, I don't trip on material like that because I don't remember now when I had it. Now, what this also means is this, because, and when I'm broke, or when I don't have money or whatever type thing here, because of my mindset is at a certain level of being in luxury. You see what I'm saying? I never fall out of luxury when I don't have a monetary aspect.
Right. Because your mindset locks in it.
Right. But I know people that was homeless, but they never was homeless when they was homeless. They never had a street level and shit.
Right.
They're not in another friend house and stuff, they educated or whatever. They was just in a transition state. There's a difference.
Right.
Because they didn't have the mindset of being homeless.
So playtime is very valuable to a child's life.
It's very vital to a child's life. Whereas us, you only played to age 7 in school. You had to go to the field.
Okay, right.
You see what I'm saying? And the modern thing about that is, the modern part about that is, a lot of people, parents and stuff can't afford to give them people that kind of lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? Or is when you tell your child that he's not supposed to do this type of stuff. I know poor people that say you was poor, but we never knew it.
Right, because nobody ever told them.
They never told them they was poor. And they might not have told us we had. They'll make their own world of what it was based on what they had.
Especially
and play just as much too. So it's not synonymous with monetary gain.
Right, that's what I do.
So let me ask you as you say that. Because a lot of people always say, you always laugh and even tell them stuff is so
I'm still a little confused. So we'll see what else the brain goes here. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Had me on my quest to hey y'all, how y'all doing? To go ahead of time, which is repeated to me. But they threw a wrench, like I was talking about the other day. And I was like, okay. Because we have the portal open all the time. But how y'all doing? Hope I can enlighten y'all. Aha moments, confirmation, participate, or just listening. So when I seen this, it said Aug8, 2026, Lionsgate, which is Leo, gathering. I'm like, okay. And then I start reading some of it, right? It says visible across where you can see it we'll start talking about the moon cycles on Aug8-12, Leo new moon, right? I know I jumped way ahead, but I'm going to go back to visible across Arctic, Greenland, Iceland, and Spain. Earth will not lose gravity. False rumors. I'm like, what? The eclipse is a natural alignment of the sun and moon with no threat to humanity or impact on gravity. I was like, what the fuck? What you mean, gravity? And I was like, huh? So, evidently, it was issued that there wasn't going to be for like 5 seconds or something like that, that gravity would be messed over, well, be gone for so many seconds. It says misinformation of gravity reports claiming 7 seconds loss of gravity. Project Anchor are false and have been debunked by NASA and experts. And we know when they say stuff like that, there's either the triple side or hide something, right? It says minor effects during the solar eclipse. The combined gravity of the sun and moon causes an infinity, infinitesimal, I don't know, infinity, SIMAL, imperceptible reduction in weight, less than a gram, which is not enough to cause floating. So floating, what the hell? It says safety observers must see project eyes. Protect your eyes, I'm sorry. Okay, so I was like, okay, is this why they going underground and get in the bunkers? You know? Those in the UK, Ireland, and other parts of Europe will experience an impressive particle solar eclipse with over 90% of the sun obscured in some areas. Theory: if Earth lost gravity for 7 seconds, this is somebody was saying, it would trigger how you say, chaos, planet-wide destruction, potentially ending life for 7 seconds. Everything not attached to the ground, people, vehicles, water, soil would float upward, while the atmosphere would escape at the planet, and the planet would expand, break up. When gravity returns, everything would slam back down with deadly force. I'm like, huh? What the fuck? I never heard of this besides being possessed. Or then I said, well, let me go back in history and see how did the ages start from, you know, how did it get from whatever age it was before it got to Capricorn age, and now it's flipping into Aquarius age, right? So it says eardrums or water, expand either to, oh, if the volcanoes erupt and the sun goes darkness. Then it talks about, I didn't find that part, but let me read y'all what I found. Claim everything will go up, then come back down during the no sun time darkness. And we was just talking about all of that, and we've been talking about that. They said we had 30 weeks or something, 5 years or something. I told you I'd be a twist. Everything will float, Earth's crust rupture, drift away from the sun. Trees, buildings up, then dramatic down. No oxygen, suffocation. Lava floating up, chaos, then darkness. Okay, that's why I want to find Bobby Him, and I said, well, okay, see what he's talking about. Panic. That's what I'm talking about. Major panic. Okay, and that's what we usually do first, without going research. That's why I said, let me go and listen. You know, because it's like, what the hell, you know. So, Project Anchor. They called it Project Anchor, but they read some Bible verses first before that. It says in the Bible, God sustaining the universe. In Colossians 1:17, in him all things hold together. And Job 26:7 hangs the earth on nothing, indicating a divinely established natural order. He stretches out the north over the void and hangs the earth on nothing, which I think that's the spider, the web is holding everything up. That's just another. Um, which is often interpreted as recognizing the earth suspended in space. Okay, I was just talking about Mother Earth tied our ass. In Colossians 1:17, this also says in Hebrews 1:3, verse 1, chapter 1, verse 3, describes Christ upholding or holding all things together, which is understood as God sustaining the physical laws, including gravity, that prevent the universe from falling apart. Then in Psalms 10, chapter 10, verse 4, verse 5, he set the earth on its foundations so that it should never be moved, which is seen as described the stability God provides to the earth. Biblical interpretation of gravity, sustaining force, rather than describing gravity as purely mechanical force, the Bible often frames it as God's ongoing active involvement in sustaining the universe. Okay. Order and stability. The consistent, dependable nature of gravity is viewed as part of the orderly design universe created by God. Spiritual analog. Some theological interpretations use gravity metaphorically to describe the gravity of sin, or being drawn towards God's gravity of love. Okay, now Project Anchor. Rumors highlights growing crisis of deception in a digital age. Secret government program preparing for a brief loss of Earth's gravity in 2026. Okay. Matthew 24, Jesus cautioned that deception would not merely appear but multiply, growing so uh, a lot that it would mislead many. Secret gravity shutdown program, floating out of bed. Now we seen plenty of movies, like I said, most of the Exorcists, and it was some movie I can't remember what it was, where everything started going up. I can't remember. It was a couple of movies like that. History of one age ending, starting another. Yes, history is conventionally divided into distinct consecutive ages or eras, such as ancient, medieval, and modern. What is that? Shoot. ALMARCATE, all marked by major shifts in technology, politics, and society. These transitions, often driven by events like revolutions or the fall of the empires, show a transformation from old to new, moving from a GRARIAN to industrial and eventually to the current information age. So I was like, start seeing, is that meaning, okay, now we know there are gods over this earth, right? And each planet has their own god. Each one of us are gods, okay, but just for this sake. So they're trying to leave here. Is their god leaving and another god taking over? Or is it um that God's people, let's say, for instance, China, Iran, or whoever's going to take over, that's part of that God system. And like he said, the chaos, there's always chaos right before the storm. You have to start over. It has to be darkness first, because darkness has to go back to darkness, because darkness was first. It has to go to chaos because chaos was first. That's how everything was made, right? So I was thinking that. I said, okay, so maybe it's switching from Capricorn age, whatever god that was with him in Pisces, to Aquarius age. I'm still trying to figure out what's going to be with Aquarius. What's with Aquarius? Is it Aries with Aquarius? In this Aquarius age, anybody know? Scholars out there, astronomers. Who is with Aquarius? Because Pisces was with Capricorn, okay? Or is Pisces staying with Aquarius? They next door. Now Capricorn was two doors down from Pisces, or door down, so with Aquarius then Pisces. And I was thinking, okay, since it's two doors down, would Aquarius be Aries? If y'all know the chart, right? What's a crazy way of doing my chart? But the first house is Aries. Okay, here you got Pisces. This is 12th house Pisces, which is supposed to be in 13. We're just gonna go with 12. And then, or would it be a Fucus? Because a Fucus never had a chance, or haven't had a chance. Okay, so I don't. Fucus is over here. But anyway, so we got Capricorn. We're in Capricorn age, which is a whole different. Because Saturn, a whole different. Anyway, so past Aquarius and went to Pisces. So I got Pisces age because it can mess with you in your dreams, and a whole bunch of other things, you know. So when Aquarius age, would it bypass Pisces and go to Aries, or will it go back? You know what I'm saying? And go to Sag. Would that be the reason for the gravity? Um, I don't know. I guess I'd be getting too deep and stuff. I'm sorry, y'all. I be getting too. Be trying to figure stuff out. It says Aug8 portal, Lions Gate. I know I'm way hopping ahead of time. A major spiritual and astrological event marked by the alignment of the sun and Leo, Earth and star Sirius and Orion. Okay, now is that about Sirius and Orion taking over? That's the darkness. That's the black hole and all of that, right? That they got everybody so scared of, which means that whatever was first is finna be first again. 88 date is considered the year's most potent time for manifestation, abundance, and spiritual awakening. Christians call it the rapture. Okay. A key aspect: it serves as a high-speed manifestation window for shifting realities. Numerology infinity, the eight infinity, power and transformation with 8-8, doubling this influence. Now he talked about, Bobby Hemmett talked about the Kundalini rise up in him. And he went insane for a minute and cussed everybody out. And then he realized what was going on and came back to his senses. Cosmic alignment, the star Cyrus, spiritual sun, aligned with Earth, allowing increased spirit energy and conscious awakening. Um, is it timing, energy, peak, 8, August 8. Set intentions, meditate, writing, show gratitude, exercise to planet future goals, bold heart, center actions, aligning with the energy of Leo season to boost confidence and personal growth. Now that's what I find for the solution of it all. So I'm still a little, let's see. So that's what I was trying to see. Does that mean the shifts? Aquarius age meaning Sirius and Orion, the shift of now how would that happen? You know what I'm saying? How would that happen where because it's gonna be chaos. It's already chaos. Um, the government transitioning, okay, like this war that just happened, and wake up one day and we find out Iran is over America, or Russia is over America, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And how will we react to that? Will we have the power to do anything? You know, um, and chaos. People black magic, so It's saying black people. I wake up one morning and our ancestors came through the portal, which is us, to wake us up, did something or whatever, and we see Osiris, Isis, you know what I'm saying? All them, I don't know. So speaking loud, okay, we got black magic, but also there's black people. Um, okay, so definitely chaos because we got right here Aries and Libra. It's unbalanced, no justice. Okay, I'm gonna read my little booklet in a minute. Okay, loud. Capricorn. Foundation, feminine energy. Oh, okay, feminine energy. Because that's what was at the beginning, right? So what exactly does that entitle? Cancer, Scorpio, and then horsemen of those are feminine energies. Okay, more love, stolen or lost, not. This is not getting, not getting away, not going nowhere. Or it could mean, yeah, this would be variety. Money, feminine energy again. Something about the money system. Water. Capricorn, Virgo, talking. Ego, Scorpio, I think as well. Leo, Aries. Listen, number 15. Number 15. The Black Magician, Black Magic, Fatality, something fatal. Remember that son of the earth that the most unpopular thing in the world is selfishness, pride, and rebellion, but enchain the soul to lower spirits. Okay, so that's what we at. Okay. Um, but all trials and misfortune accepted with resignation to the supreme will are an accomplished progress, bringing an eternal reward. So all trials and misfortunes accepted with resignation to the supreme will. Okay, accepting. So something going on with the government. Cease to rely upon thy own power and wisdom, and labor to disengage thyself from pride and selfishness, which but bind thee to matter, mortality, and evil fate, depending on your own wisdom and power, and labor to disengage thyself from pride and selfishness. Then we got the Libra verse. Queen of Coins. Signifies a person ruled by Libra, good, high-minded, noble, and admirable. Reverse indicates a Libra man. are balanced, so unbalanced. Okay, so human way, black magic was thrown to make somebody unbalanced. Okay. But on a higher note, justice, which is the system, which is ruled by Capricorn age, if we were to say that, Capricorn age, okay, um, which was masculine and patriarchy, right? It's flipping to feminine energy. Stolen or lost, not accepted. Stolen money, stolen. Okay. Horseman of coins. The note starts related to health or money. Reverse. They are plots to unfairly obtain money from you. Okay. Queen of Scepter, Leo energy, and Wheel of Fortune. Favor. Lions Gate. Fixed sign. Tampering. Taking care of yourself with masculine energy. A lot of drinking. Got money. So everything going in Leo favor during the 8th infinity. Okay, Queen of Scepter. Signifies a person ruled by the sign Leo, haughty, high spirited, ambitious, and resolute. Right way up denotes a Leo woman. I will. Okay. Pampering herself, of course, that's Leo energy, right? Um, then we got Wheel of Fortune, number 10, going in your favor. The wheel, change your fortune. Remember then some of the earth that for power thou must will, that is, will strongly. Thou must dare, and to dare with success, thou shouldest know how to be silent until the moment of action. Know that to possess the key of power, you must learn to will persistently only for what is good and true. And in order to maintain thyself upon the heights of life, shouldest thou reach them, thou must have learned how to sound with a look, and without dizziness the vast depths. Okay. Sphinx, fixed, taken over, culture, favor, old, new. What's that? That what that is. Okay, then we got the 10 coins. Okay, making something go in your favor or owing or just the way it is. Capricorn is also feminine energy, right? Okay, reverse. Scorpio energy. That's feminine energy. Masculine energy, standing up, pampering with the money. feminine energy, both reverse, masculine Libra is reverse, so justice, no justice, um, and Scorpio reverse. So either somebody wants this masculine energy, still wants this all to their self, okay, um, and bypassing these two, the Libra and the Scorpio energy, are putting black magic on them. And you got the Hierophant, priest, clergyman, and we got the Hierophant reverse, path, lightning. Okay, let's see. What's going on? Queen of Cups. Signifies a person ruled by Scorpio. Active, selfish, pride, resentful, reserved, and thoughtful. Reverse, a Scorpio man. I dominate, I desire. Okay. Prioritize own needs, self-care. Insecure, not desired. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. The Hierophant, number 5. With Jupiter, religion and law. Remember then, son of the earth, that before saying of a man that he is fortunate or unfortunate, thou must know the use to which he has put his will. For every man creates his life in the image of his works. The genius of good is at thy right, and the genius of evil at thy left. Their voice can be heard only by the conscience. Okay? Um, Listen to the voice of the silence, and guided by it, thou will reach the goal of thy aspirations. Okay, okay. Hold on. I need to know how. Okay, I'm back. So right there. Okay, what was I reading? Okay, listen to the voice of the silence, and guided by it, thou will reach the goal of thy aspirations. Then we got greedy and hungry, king of swords reverse. Okay. King of signifies a person ruled by Taurus, reserved, sullen, and practical. Reverse indicates a Taurus woman. I have, so I don't have. Okay. 6. A choice. Cause and effect. Number 6. The two paths, temptation. Remember then on the earth that for the common man, the allurement of vice has a greater fascination than the astral beauty of virtue. If the two paths should appear, take care of thy resolutions. Obstacles bar before thee, thy path thou wouldest pursue, contrary changes hover over thee, and thou wavers between two resolutions. Indecision is above all else wiser than a bad choice. Advance or recede, but do not hesitate, and know that a chain of flaws is more difficult to break than a chain of iron. Okay. I see some deception here, but I didn't want to be that focused on that because we got a lightning coming in on the deception anyway. Okay. Number 16. The lightning. Catastrophe or accident. Remember then some of the earth that only God is absolute. Reflect on the old oaks that have defiled the ravages of time and have finally been brought down from a century of immunity. Think that thou too is maybe brought low at the very moment of thy great arrogance by some unexpected blow. So I'm not worried about that part. But for as the world's sake, okay, we got that chaos. We started off with the chaos, with the black magic being the chaos. We start right here again. Capricorn. Well, it was Capricorn, the system. Okay, the greed, the patriarchy, is slowly turning to monarchy. The money system. We'll definitely have to get that together. What would y'all have to do if we had a choice to figure out another way for the money system instead of the paper money? And besides, well, Bitcoin, but if we didn't have Bitcoin, so that system, whatever system, is crumbling. Opposite Cancer of Capricorn. So it's like you're trying to get help. And Cancer and Scorpio say, no, you stole from me. Or lost too much. He lost. Feminine. Okay. Drinking spiritual bath water without fire. Talking again. So this is a Capricorn and Leo. So they like the Capricorn was going through some stuff. On another note, or got used to do a job used black magic or just got used. And Leo sitting pretty. Wheel of Fortune and all the money. Then we got Scorpio reverse, blinded by it all. Needs self-care. Then we got the Hierophant coming in. Was on top. So that's another leader. So these could be our leaders too. And then it fell down. Greed and hungry. Not choosing the right path or choose the right. Don't do the crime, you can't do the time. Cause and effect. Okay. Then the tower came down. Evidently they made the right choice. So they came back down. Whatever catastrophe or accident it's gonna be. What's it gonna be? No, I can't pretend. What's it gonna be? More than Aries. Work somebody. Could be a cane. Okay, so war. I see. Retaliation. Ooh. Scorpio energy. Sagittarius, Aries, fire signs. This is the fire year, right? The year of the I forgot. I know it's horse, something else. Red horse or some kind of horse. And the color orange for this year. Azael, so a lot of deaths, storms, something like that. So to see the breathing part, this could be the breath. This could be speaking loud on the breath of the like holding your breath or something like that for that 7 seconds. Okay. Virgo energy. Jack of Scepter. Signify a person ruled by Sagittarius, benevolent, free, jovial, quick-tempered, energetic, and fond of outdoor sports. Right way up denotes a Sagittarius man. I see the target. Scorpio energy. Scorpio number 13. The Reaper. Death and transformation. Remember then, son of the earth, that terrestrial things are of a short duration, and that the highest powers are reaped as the grass of the field. The dissolution of thy organs will come sooner than I expected, but do not dread it, for death is but a part of but death is but the partition of another life. The universe reabsorbs without ceasing all which springs from her bosom that has not spiritualized itself, but the releasing of ourselves from material instincts by free and voluntary adhesion of our souls to the laws of the universe. Movement constitutes in us the creation of a second man, celestial man, and brings out immortality. Well, I feel like that's a shift of somebody else taking over. I know it's like war and getting, I know that, but I'm focusing on what's going on. And because we got mixed behind the scenes, the Confederate, and it's reversed. Okay. Capricorn energy, death, bowing down to a whole new system. Queen of coins, feminine energy. But which one? Signifies a person ruled by Virgo, studious, rather even-tempered, ingenious and witty. Right way up denotes a Virgo woman. I analyze, strategize, sitting right on Leo. On a human note, turned on everybody. Use people. Um, it could be the strategy on okay. Behind the scenes. Five of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. Reverse. Mixed signals in trouble. So it's a misunderstanding in the arguments, fights, debates, meeting, gossip. Six of Wands. Praise. Six of Cups reverse. No family or ex. So somebody's going around causing some havoc. On another note, it's a plot. Page of Wands. Travel. Queen of Cups. And that is King of Cups. Reverse. Interesting. I'm gonna spin, you make me feel like dancing. Confused. Pirate means slick, empty, drunk, and dangerous. In the way. Yacht, boat, getting out of trouble waters. Okay. I could be paying for 2 tickets. Love. Can't get along but still love each other. If loving you is wrong, I don't wanna do right. Now that was Russia too. Let me see my other card say. So I see some political stuff. Spine. Binoculars. 4 of Pentacles. Money improvements. Elite. Fool. That's that portal too. Okay, let's see what this one is. Oh shit. Getting prepared to go in this portal. And you know when you go in the portal, it's gonna be right, you know. I guess, I don't know. I was watching something, supposed to have been true. It was this man, he was living out in the wilderness. I think he had a partner, but he ended up, him and his partner wanted to find out how to open a portal through the trees. And I guess he thought he was going with Sasquatch, Bigfoot and them was, right? So whatever he had, it worked. So I don't know if his partner went there or not. It worked. So he got halfway in the trees. I don't know if y'all seen that. Halfway in the trees, but only half of his body was in the other side in the portal. And the portal closed. So it left him stuck halfway in the tree. So these young kids came by and he was trying to show them how to help him. So they ended up going back to where he was the laboratory, and they when he got whatever he told them, came back and he had already died. So they decided to go see what was going on, and they went back to the laboratory and started looking at the films and reading the stuff, and they found out that was his own doing. And they got, it's like, you know, they said they thought it was demonic, so they got out of there and said, you know, left everything like it was. I guess they told the authorities, but it's not taking family, which is Dark Road. Somebody might have to make a choice. Um, I see the partnership right here, but he's like taking over there with the child. A mother and child traveling, going off by themselves, going, paying the money for lead, getting the money, going through the portal or somewhere in distant land or whatever. Okay. Um, Dark could be like, you know, um, Philippines, whatever, I don't know. Africa. And then I'm seeing somebody is going through that portal. 3 of Wands reverse. Closet to a closet. Everything's out of the closet. Shit. Not going to go out of the closet. Sagittarius energy. Not passing the test. What? Oh, everything out the closet. So somebody's going to tell. 7 of Wands. Why did I say detective? I didn't mean to say that. Offensive. Oh, they're gonna be mad when everything come out the closet. Feel like they've been stabbed in the back. Watch somebody getting away. Giving the paperwork of all everybody. A pass and a baton. I don't know, that ain't came yet, but 3 of Swords, broken hearted. Bitch, you been gone. You been hit by a smooth criminal. Dum 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 dum. And bing in the bing. Anyone mom? No 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 no. Anyone? Anyone? And Eddie. Too pitiful. No, it's gonna be alright. Don't worry about it. I got your back. Two-faced and judging confused. How did they find out? An ex told them. Somebody went through your memoirs, your Akashic records, or the courthouse. uh, it's gonna be okay. Teach them how to fish. Pregnant. And by the way, I'm pregnant. Knight of Swords reverse. Criminal. I told you, criminal. You've been hit by a smooth criminal. Bum bum ba dum bum. Yeah, that magician. Aggressive chaos. Ooh, wait, what we got here? So this gonna be some fast action, and you gotta pay attention. Otherwise, you're gonna be left behind. Cause they got a strategy. Okay, innocent first, but behind the scenes, black magic or persuasion. Um, what is the other one? Seduction. Um, it don't help. It will help if you look good, smell good, intelligent at this moment, and girly, giggly, girly. You know what I'm saying? Feminine energy to whatever this is right here. Okay. Or boy. I don't know. This thing went through a bunch of shifts. This got to do with the shift to on Leo time, because Leo the star here, but playing people like a fiddle. Hey, wow. Queen of Pentacles. No partnership, no pre-mark, no agreement. Non and void. I'm hearing that. Um, poison elixir. Devil reverse. was upright at first. That's Queen of Pentacles too. I smarted the devil. Release control. That's a good strategy though. You know, like I was telling you, I think I read about Iran and America. That America, but it's all politics. So they all kind of like, sit around the table and figure out how they're going to trip us out. But then on another note, play that little game, right? Till I said it was going to be obstacles, um, coming in, different strategies that they were going to use, right? And then, like I said, they playing that little game with us. We'll play with them. Okay. Ugh. Ten of Swords. Yeah, a lot of thinking. Oh. Now, the master manipulator who had everybody else manipulated and had a spell on everybody. Spell broken. Now they manipulated. Now they got stabbed in the back. Because we had that boomerang effect, right? Page of Wands. Director, producer. Child is free. Now they feeling like a victim. Yeah, a lot of checkmate and chess. Some checkers here too. Mm. That is good. Oh Lord, the King of Pentacles. Who you go with? Mm. Mm. Masculines. Whoa. It's transgender. That's Asia and Pentacles could be Iran, Iraq, Paris, Louisiana. I know I jumped to that. Lies. Let me one more card. King of Cups. Listen. Dark side of wealth. Okay. Toxic situation completely. Yeah. Okay. Leo. Exposed. Emperor. Again. No drinking or smoking. Or a son. Eight of Pentacles. Queen of Cups reverse. If this not transgender, BITCH, so somebody had to turn and play the game. You know what I'm saying? They took the mask off hold up. Because it's some deceit. When playing fair, they're playing, okay, strategy, chess. Really hard, but some other ones is. Okay. So, lying. No exception in human lies. So somebody found out all the trickery that's been done, everything out the closet. They're devastated. Okay, then the water sign, who was devilish, playing nice, was exposed. And the emperor was playing nice too. Like you don't drink, smoke, healing, glad he got caught, exposed. The pentacles, because he got his own agenda. Blueprints, the key. Clue. Okay, outsmarted him. So yeah, I smarted the water sign. Because he had evidence. Yeah, somebody was going around taking pictures, um, conversations, recording, all that, like Watergate. um, Blackmail is definitely on the table. Wait for that money to hit. It's like the moving of the money. You know, somebody thought they had it, then they didn't have it, and somebody got it, and now it's reverse. It was up right now, it becomes reverse because the person, well, really the person that's supposed to have it, supposed to be sharing, um, they didn't want to share, they wanted it all. So somebody wanted it all from them, so they stole it because they had evidence on what all happened. So now it's Ten of Pentacles reverse because it's not in the right hands of the people that it should be, who it's for, because one of them decided to be greedy and clever than everybody else. So now everybody feeling used while this other one swoop in. I plan on who claim they materialistic, right? Smiling, looking pretty, taking care of the kids and all that kind of stuff. Foreigner, hero, open, no losses, move, bitch, get out the way, rehab. Okay, let me celebrate. Maybe somebody went to rehab, played crazy. Two of Swords line. Clearly not working. So they ain't telling nobody that's not working. They just gonna party with them. Everybody lying. Ace of Pentacles reverse. Access denied. Seven of Wands. Crime scene. Reverse. Exhausted, burnt out. No energy. Stop. King of Wands. Reckless, not in charge. Forced. Can't lead. Controlling. Truth. King of Swords. Frustrated, stuck, lost. Don't want to see jail. Temperance again. Wrong way. Dark road, dark space. I don't know if this is a detective watching everything, figuring out what's going on, documenting everything. Each one of these people involved did it to each other so they can end up with whatever this is. Okay, who looking pretty? King of Wands watching. Nine of Pentacles. Eight of Wands. He has money, supposedly. Eight of Wands. Speedy news, magic, witchcraft. So he want to put a love spell on the one with the money now. Nine of Pentacles. Dark space. So it's like she and his hood now. It's in his territory or something. So I'm gonna put a spell on her. She's too free. Talking to the birds and shit. Tending to her garden. Watching my money. Everything growing and prospering. Ooh, you want to bring death to that? God dang it. You want to end that? Or you want a new beginning? What the fuck? Patriarchy. Okay, maybe new beginning on. Let's see. Scorpio energy. Transformation. Let's see. Where you want a beginning? But he put a love spell. Why would you need a love spell? Not working in his favor. Because he fucked up and put a damn love spell and shit. Deceitful. Six of Wands. Reverse. Bad reputation. Man, go sit down. People. Want you know people. People. They don't really know you. Queen of Pentacles. Walking away. But I'm walking. Oh, where you going, girl? Work. Walking to work. Patient. Frustrated about work. Bankruptcy. Rags to riches. So just wait. Okay, got this money, don't know what to do with it, or what's going on? Waiting for your ships, or waiting for that money, waiting for the investment to hit. Okay, maybe that's what it is. Three of Pentacles. gonna say blue jeans. Blue jeans. Blueprints. Okay. Skeleton key. Confession. This in my confession. Teamwork. Religious. Baptism. Waiting for your ships to come in. Let my people go. Cease. What is it? Powers. Secret powers. Got 3 staffs. So Moses. Wait for ships to come in. Praying that it come in. While you're waiting on someone. Because you had this, you walking frustrated, but you walk. Now you're sitting looking at the pier. Someone to come in. Future plans. Well, okay. You notice that things are out of your control. Or out of your hand. Whatever it is, you can't rush it. Okay, is that what that is? People, places, or things, whatever you're waiting on. Ace of Cups reverse. Blockage, lies, dirty, empty, not received, access denied, business ill. So that's not coming through. Knight of Wands, bad police, reckless, want to get that way. So you're waiting on the player. 8 of Pentacles, reverse. It was upright. Oh, that was 7. Something about your job. Not positive. Whatever you waiting on or answer or something, not what you wanted to hear. 5 of Wands reverse. Failed magic, way out. Secretly talking, solving the issue, arguing, help, stop. Six of Pentacles. Somebody drowning, is somebody jumping in the water, was it? Somebody pushing in the water. No help. 6 of Pentacles raised. Still on the street. Why did I switch to? I didn't switch to or it switched to the gravity thing. Or it could be a tow truck. Shit. Yeah. Switching to the gravity thing. Car going to, they were supposed to be a bad scene, like going into the water, or pushed in the water or something. King of Swords, flies, abuse, Hangman reverse again, bully, and Justice, Karma, King of Cups, King of Swords. Okay, they woke. Oh, he woke. Ace of Pentacles. Yes, helping hand. Virgo, Ghost, Isolation. Hermit reverse. Happy. Mad talk. Somebody pissed off. Treason, racketeering. Hermit again. Reverse. Swords. So the moral of that is don't panic when y'all hear that. I don't know if y'all heard about that floating and all of that. Poured on gathering and the rapture again and all of that. The people gonna let you know. Cousins. Boy cousin. Missy Elliott. Okay. Werewolves. Kill his or her mother. You smell so good. Lexus. Get a reading. Readers. You have to be graduated for the next class of learning. Pay attention. You're in the learning stage, so don't get distracted. Octopus. All hands. Your grandkids love you. Let them too. My love is strange. Y'all paid for it with money all your life because I owe you now. My love is strange. Y'all paid for it with money all your life because I owe you now. Shooting a cop. Father involved in a murder. Family of deceased is after them or hire someone. Do your own investigating. Be smart about it. Not their real name. An ex's fake stalking. An ex's fake stalking. Dirty motel, hotel, crime scene. Sacrifice Sag. Honda. We seen Sag already, but this see Temperance twice. Reverse. Cracking down police on dark web. Lies ain't work. Lies ain't working now. Look who's working now. Betrayal. Clearing your name. You don't have to lie, Craig. You don't have to lie. Or change you to be someone's friend. Love yourself. You got me fucked up with someone who cares. I'm not saying nothing. I could go to jail or get caught. He, she, they are spies. They kill or kill 3 at a time to get what they want. A sunny day, a lovely day. Today was a good day. Protection, letter, chaos. Or later, supposed to be LA. Later could be chaos. A lovely day, lovely. Toxic, exposed, no use. Everybody was shocked in here. Show their ass. I won't show ya. One monkey don't stop no show. Hell, sometimes they do. Full moon. Pleasant dreams. Protect you and yours. Fight back or leave. Booby traps ready. She wants to kill you, so don't ignore this. Full moon again. I'ma kill this bitch for fucking my daughter or son and turning them against me, ruin their life. A good job or career is coming for money. Create your own. I love you. I hope you get better soon. Phone call making want to jump you when you go outside. Money you don't know on husband or wife side. You were supposed to die. Cry wolf, no help. Don't let your child treat you wrong. Don't look or make your parents suffer because a spouse left or divorce things happen. Work on you, especially if you're grown. Your child feeling way about you one day. You got uncle, return to sender with no return back to you, justice. Be loyal, trustworthy, faithful, respectful, and true. On the right side, creators and ancestors got you. London Bridge is falling down. I'm going down. Gemini. You make people look good. Slowly programming you. Your child, boy, girl needs your attention and understanding. Take time to know him or her, not outside, man or woman. They know you. You're been treated bad. Love yourself more. It's my new therapy. Comedy show, Take My Wife, Please. Can't trust you. Don't go set up. Chief. Boulay, house niggas, high class blacks, so Secret Service, skull and bones to keep blacks in place for sacrifice and kill, keep them poor. What was he saying about Skull and Bones? I know it's a black thing first. What's that? Date drugs poison. Want your bones or fuck you any kind of a way. Rape 3 or more. Okay. Enough of that. Went to Salem to put a spell on your family to turn on y'all. Turn on each other. Punishment here. Massage therapist. Career. Take care of your hands. 50 Cent. Take out. Did it through black magic so they won't get caught. Blacks. Blocking your money and success. The delay is not a denial. You will get it. Daughter's son, fuck mother's man. On purpose, secret to hurt you. You work for the creators, released on bond. Don't worry, be happy. Go on, keep being happy. Hello. Alright, y'all. That's what I have. So, y'all know from the beginning, y'all know we'll keep this debate open. It ain't ready yet, but who knows what they thinking. Gotta find out more about this. Alright, lay y'all, bye.